What if the stories we tell today are echoes of ancient whispers, shaping the very fabric of our world? Picture this, a single myth, born thousands of years ago, still rippling through our lives, influencing how we think, act, and even dream. Myths are not just tales of gods and heroes. They are the blueprints of civilizations, the mirrors reflecting our deepest fears, hopes, and values. From the creation of the universe to the rise and fall of empires, these stories have guided humanity through the ages, leaving an indelible mark on history itself. In this video, we're embarking on a journey through 50 myths that didn't just entertain, they shaped the world as we know it. These are the stories that defined cultures, inspired revolutions, and even shaped modern science and philosophy. Why do these ancient tales still matter? Because they are more than just legends. They are the roots of our collective identity, the threads that connect us across time and space. So, are you ready to uncover the myths that changed everything? From the epic battles of gods and mortals to the timeless lessons of love, loss, and redemption, this is a journey through the stories that made us who we are. Stay with us because by the end of this video, you'll see the world, and maybe even yourself, in a whole new light. Let's dive in. As we step into the realm of creation, let's begin with the very first myth that shaped humanity's understanding of existence, the creation of the world. Across cultures, from the icy realms of the Norse to the vibrant landscapes of India and the ancient traditions of the Aboriginal peoples, creation myths have served as the foundation of how societies perceive the universe and their place within it. These stories are not just about how the world began, they are about who we are, why we are here, and what it means to exist. Take, for example, the Norse myth of Yggdrasil, the immense world tree that connects the 9 realms of existence. Its roots and branches stretch across the cosmos, symbolizing the interconnectedness of all life. For the Norse, Yggdrasil wasn't just a story, it was a way to understand the balance of nature, the cycles of life and death, and the fragile harmony of the universe. This myth shaped their rituals, their reverence for nature, and even their sense of destiny, as they believed their fates were tied to the tree's survival. Then there's the Hindu creation myth, where Brahma, the creator god, emerges from a cosmic egg to bring the universe into being. This story reflects the Hindu belief in the cyclical nature of time, creation, preservation, and destruction, endlessly repeating. It's a profound concept that influenced not only religious practices but also philosophy, art, and the very structure of Indian society. The idea of dharma, or cosmic order, stems from this understanding of creation, guiding individuals to live in harmony with the universe. And let's not forget the Aboriginal dreamtime, a concept that transcends mere storytelling. For Indigenous Australians, the dreamtime is the eternal time of creation, when ancestral beings shape the land, the rivers, and the stars. These stories are not just myths, they are living narratives that connect the people to their land, their ancestors, and their spiritual identity. The dreamtime continues to influence Aboriginal art, rituals, and their deep respect for the natural world. What's fascinating is how these creation myths, though born in different corners of the world, share common themes: the struggle between chaos and order, the sacredness of nature, and the search for meaning in the vastness of existence. They didn't just explain the world, they shaped it, giving rise to rituals, traditions, and cultural identities that endure to this day. These stories remind us that creation is not just a one-time event. It's an ongoing process, a dialogue between humanity and the cosmos. As we move forward, we'll see how these foundational myths laid the groundwork for the epic tales and heroic journeys that followed. But for now, let's pause and reflect. What does it mean to create a world? And how do these ancient stories continue to shape ours? The answers, as we'll discover, are as vast and varied as the myths themselves. Now, as we journey from the cosmic beginnings of creation myths, we step into the realm of human ambition and the timeless quest for meaning. Our next myth takes us to ancient Mesopotamia, where the world's oldest known epic, the Epic of Gilgamesh, unfolds. This story, etched into clay tablets over 4,000 years ago, is not just a tale of kings and gods, it's a profound exploration of what it means to be human. At its heart, the Epic of Gilgamesh follows the journey of its titular hero, Gilgamesh, the powerful but arrogant king of Uruk. Blessed with immense strength and divine favor, Gilgamesh initially rules with little regard for his people until the gods create Enkidu, a wild man, to challenge him. What begins as a fierce rivalry soon blossoms into a deep and transformative friendship. Together, Gilgamesh and Enkidu embark on a series of adventures, from slaying the monstrous Humbaba to confronting the Bull of Heaven. But it's not just their heroic deeds that define this epic. It's the emotional depth of their bond and the lessons they learn along the way. One of the central themes of the Epic of Gilgamesh is mortality. After Enkidu's tragic death, Gilgamesh is consumed by grief and fear, realizing for the first time that even he, a demigod, is not immune to death. This realization sends him on a desperate quest for immortality, a journey that takes him to the ends of the earth and into the realm of the gods. Yet, despite his efforts, Gilgamesh ultimately learns that immortality is not found in eternal life but in the legacy one leaves behind. It's a poignant reminder of the human condition, our fleeting existence and the enduring impact of our actions. The epic also explores the power of friendship and its ability to transform us. Through his relationship with Enkidu, Gilgamesh evolves from a tyrannical ruler into a wise and compassionate leader. Their bond teaches him humility, empathy, and the value of human connection, themes that resonate deeply even today. This emphasis on friendship as a catalyst for personal growth has influenced countless stories and philosophies, from ancient Greek epics to modern literature. But the Epic of Gilgamesh is more than just a story, it's a reflection of the human experience. Its themes of mortality, friendship, and the search for meaning have shaped the way we understand ourselves and our place in the world. It's no wonder that this ancient Mesopotamian tale has inspired generations of writers, thinkers, and storytellers, leaving an indelible mark on the tapestry of world history. As we move forward, we'll see how these themes of heroism, loss, and the quest for immortality continue to echo in the myths and legends that followed. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect. What does it mean to live a meaningful life, and how do we find purpose in the face of our inevitable mortality? The answers, much like Gilgamesh's journey, are as complex and profound as the human spirit itself. Now, as the echoes of Gilgamesh's quest fade, we find ourselves stepping into a world of divine intrigue, mortal ambition, and one of the most legendary conflicts in human history, the Trojan War. This myth, immortalized in Homer's epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, is far more than a tale of war. It's a story of gods meddling in human affairs, heroes grappling with destiny, and the cunning that can turn the tide of battle. At the heart of the Trojan War lies the infamous judgment of Paris, a mortal prince tasked with choosing the fairest among three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Each offered him a bribe, but it was Aphrodite's promise of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen of Sparta, that swayed him. When Paris abducted Helen, already married to King Menelaus of Sparta, it sparked a conflict that would last 10 long years. The Greeks, led by heroes like Achilles, Agamemnon, and Odysseus, sailed to Troy to reclaim Helen, setting the stage for a war that would become the stuff of legend. The gods played no small part in this drama, from Zeus, who watched from afar, to Athena and Hera, who sided with the Greeks, and Aphrodite, who championed the Trojans. The divine were deeply entangled in the fates of mortals. Their interventions often tipped the scales, blurring the line between human agency and divine will. This interplay between gods and mortals is a hallmark of Greek mythology, reflecting the ancient belief that human lives were shaped by forces beyond their control. Among the heroes, Achilles stands out as the quintessential warrior, his rage and grief driving much of the Iliad's narrative. his conflict with Agamemnon over a captured prize, his withdrawal from battle, and his eventual return to avenge his fallen friend Patroclus reveal the complexities of heroism, its glory, and its cost. Achilles' story is a poignant exploration of pride, honor, and the inevitability of fate, themes that resonate deeply in Western literature. But perhaps the most enduring symbol of the Trojan War is the Trojan horse, a masterpiece of deception. After years of stalemate, the Greeks devised a plan to infiltrate Troy by hiding their soldiers inside a giant wooden horse, left as an offering to the gods. The Trojans, believing the war was over, brought the horse within their walls, only to face destruction when the Greek soldiers emerged under cover of night. This act of cunning has become synonymous with strategic brilliance and the dangers of misplaced trust. The Trojan War's impact on Western culture is immeasurable. It has inspired countless works of art, from ancient pottery to Renaissance paintings, and its themes of heroism, fate, and human frailty have shaped the way we tell stories. The concept of the tragic hero, flawed yet noble, finds its roots in figures like Achilles and Hector, the noble Trojan prince. Even today, the phrase Trojan horse is used to describe deceptive strategies, a testament to the myth's lasting relevance. As we leave the shores of Troy behind, we're reminded that the Trojan War is more than a tale of gods and heroes. It's a reflection of the human experience. It asks us to consider the cost of pride, the weight of destiny, and the thin line between victory and defeat. And as we move forward, we'll see how these themes continue to shape the myths that define our world. Now, as the dust of Troy settles, we shift our gaze to a hero whose name has become synonymous with strength and endurance: Hercules. Known in Greek mythology as Hercules, his story is one of trials, redemption, and the ultimate test of human will. The 12 labors of Hercules are not just a series of tasks. They are a profound exploration of what it means to overcome adversity, to seek atonement, and to rise above one's flaws. Hercules' journey begins with a tragic twist of fate. Driven to madness by the goddess Hera, he commits an unspeakable act, taking the lives of his own wife and children. When the fog of madness lifts, Hercules is consumed by guilt and seeks redemption. The oracle at Delphi tells him that to cleanse his soul, he must serve King Eurystheus and complete 12 seemingly impossible tasks. These labors, each more daunting than the last, would test Hercules' strength, cunning, and resolve, but they would also reveal the depth of his character. The first labor, the slaying of the Nemean lion, sets the tone for what's to come. This beast, with its impenetrable hide, was a symbol of invincibility. Hercules' victory, achieved by strangling the lion and using its own claws to skin it, demonstrates not just physical power but ingenuity. It's a reminder that true strength lies in both muscle and mind. Next, Hercules faces the Lernaean Hydra, a serpent with multiple heads that regrow when cut off. With the help of his nephew Iolaus, Hercules devises a strategy to burn the stumps of the severed heads, preventing them from regenerating. This labor symbolizes the persistence required to tackle problems that seem to multiply with every effort. It's a lesson in teamwork and adaptability, qualities that resonate deeply in the human experience. The third labor takes Hercules to the Cyrenian hind, a sacred deer with golden antlers. Capturing it alive without harming it requires patience and precision. This task reflects the balance between strength and restraint, showing that true heroism isn't always about brute force but sometimes about careful, deliberate action. As the labors progress, Hercules confronts increasingly symbolic challenges. The Erymanthian boar, a creature of chaos, represents the wild, untamed aspects of nature and of humanity. Hercules' ability to subdue it speaks to the need to master one's own inner turmoil. Similarly, the Augean stables, filled with decades of filth, symbolize the overwhelming burdens we sometimes face. Hercules' solution, diverting 2 rivers to cleanse the stables, shows that even the most insurmountable tasks can be tackled with creativity and determination. The later labors take Hercules beyond the familiar into realms of myth and mystery. He captures the Cretan bull, a beast linked to the sea god Poseidon, and retrieves the man-eating mares of Diomedes, taming their savage nature. These tasks highlight Hercules' ability to confront not just physical threats but also the darker, more primal forces of the world. Perhaps the most symbolic of all is the 11th labor, the retrieval of the golden apples of the Hesperides. These apples, guarded by a dragon and located at the edge of the known world, represent the pursuit of knowledge and immortality. Hercules' journey to obtain them is a metaphor for the human quest for meaning, a reminder that the greatest rewards often lie beyond our comfort zones. The final labor, capturing Cerberus, the three-headed guardian of the underworld, brings Hercules full circle. Descending into Hades itself, he faces the ultimate test of courage and resolve. By emerging victorious, Hercules not only completes his penance but also proves that even the darkest depths can be conquered with perseverance and faith. The 12 labors of Hercules are more than a series of heroic feats. They are a mirror held up to the human condition. They teach us about the power of resilience, the importance of humility, and the possibility of redemption. Through Hercules, the ancient Greeks explored what it means to be truly strong, not just in body, but in spirit. And as we move forward, we'll see how these themes continue to echo in the myths that shape our understanding of the world. Now, as the tale of Hercules fades into the annals of myth, we set sail on a new journey, one that takes us across the wine-dark sea with one of the most cunning heroes of Greek mythology, Odysseus. The Odyssey, Homer's epic poem, is not just a story of a man trying to return home. It's a profound exploration of human resilience, the power of wit over brute force, and the enduring bonds of loyalty and love. Odysseus's journey begins in the aftermath of the Trojan War, where his cleverness had already made him a legend. It was his idea to construct the Trojan horse, a ruse that ultimately led to the fall of Troy. But as the war ends, Odysseus faces a new challenge, a decade-long voyage back to his homeland of Ithaca, where his wife Penelope and son Telemachus await. What should have been a straightforward journey becomes a harrowing odyssey, filled with trials that test not just his strength but his intellect and moral compass. The first major obstacle Odysseus encounters is the land of the Cyclopes, where he and his men are captured by the one-eyed giant Polyphemus. Here, Odysseus's cunning shines. Instead of relying on force, he devises a plan to blind the giant and escape by hiding under the bellies of sheep, but his pride nearly costs him everything. As they sail away, Odysseus taunts Polyphemus, revealing his true name. This act of hubris angers Poseidon, the god of the sea, who becomes Odysseus's relentless adversary, prolonging his journey home. Next, Odysseus faces the enchantress Circe, who turns his men into swine. With the help of the god Hermes, Odysseus resists her magic and convinces Circe to restore his crew. This episode highlights the theme of loyalty. Odysseus could have abandoned his men, but he chooses to save them, reinforcing the bonds of camaraderie and leadership. Circe, in turn, becomes an unlikely ally, advising Odysseus on the dangers that lie ahead, including the treacherous sirens and the twin perils of Scylla and Charybdis. The sirens, with their irresistible songs, represent the allure of temptation. Odysseus, ever the strategist, orders his men to plug their ears with wax and ties himself to the mast of the ship, allowing him to hear the siren's song without succumbing to it. This moment is a testament to his self-control and foresight, qualities that define his character. Later, navigating between Scylla, a six-headed monster, and Charybdis, a deadly whirlpool, Odysseus must make an impossible choice: lose a few men to Scylla or risk losing the entire ship to Charybdis. He chooses the former, a heartbreaking but necessary decision that underscores the harsh realities of leadership. Perhaps the most poignant part of Odysseus's journey is his visit to the underworld, where he seeks guidance from the prophet Tyges. Here, he confronts the ghosts of his past, including his mother and fallen comrades from Troy. This descent into the realm of the dead symbolizes the hero's need to face his own mortality and the consequences of his actions. It's a moment of introspection that deepens his resolve to return home. Finally, after years of wandering, Odysseus reaches Ithaca, only to find his palace overrun by suitors vying for Penelope's hand. Disguised as a beggar, he bides his time, testing the loyalty of those around him. With the help of his son Telemachus and the goddess Athena, Odysseus devises a plan to reclaim his throne. In a climactic showdown, he reveals his true identity and with unmatched precision and cunning, eliminates the suitors, restoring order to his household. The Odyssey is more than a tale of adventure. It's a blueprint for the hero's journey, a narrative structure that has influenced countless stories across cultures and centuries. Odysseus's struggles against gods, monsters, and his own flaws resonate because they reflect the universal human experience. His story teaches us about the power of perseverance, the importance of loyalty, and the enduring hope of returning to what we hold dear. As we leave Odysseus to his hard-won peace, we turn our gaze to another epic that shaped the identity of an empire, the Aeneid, where the themes of destiny and duty take center stage. As the echoes of Odysseus's triumphs fade, we now set our sights on a tale that bridges the gap between myth and history, the Aeneid. Written by the Roman poet Virgil, this epic not only tells the story of Aeneas, a Trojan hero, but also serves as a foundational narrative for the Roman Empire, weaving together themes of destiny, duty, and divine will. Aeneas's journey begins in the smoldering ruins of Troy, where he escapes the city's destruction with his father Anchises, his son Ascanius, and a small band of survivors. Guided by the gods, particularly Venus, his mother, Aeneas is destined to find a new homeland for his people. This quest takes him across the Mediterranean, where he faces trials that mirror those of Odysseus but are imbued with a distinctly Roman sense of purpose and piety. One of the most pivotal moments in Aeneas's journey is his visit to Carthage, where he encounters Queen Dido. Their tragic love story is both a personal and political turning point. Dido, captivated by Aeneas, offers him a place in her kingdom, but the gods remind him of his greater mission, to found Rome. Torn between love and duty, Aeneas chooses the latter, leaving Dido heartbroken. Her curse, as she takes her own life, foreshadows the future enmity between Carthage and Rome, a conflict that would shape the ancient world. As Aeneas continues his voyage, he descends into the underworld, much like Odysseus before him. Here, he meets the spirit of his father, who reveals the glorious future awaiting his descendants, the rise of Rome and its empire. This vision of destiny fuels Aeneas's resolve, reinforcing the idea that his struggles are not just personal but part of a divine plan. The underworld scene also introduces figures like Romulus and Augustus, linking Aeneas's journey to Rome's legendary and historical foundations. Upon reaching Italy, Aeneas faces his final challenge, a war against the local tribes led by Turnus. This conflict, driven by both divine intervention and human ambition, culminates in a climactic duel between Aeneas and Turnus. Aeneas's victory is not just a personal triumph but a symbolic act, marking the beginning of Rome's rise to power. His unwavering sense of duty and piety, even in the face of immense suffering, embodies the virtues that Virgil sought to promote as ideals for Roman citizens. The Aeneid is more than a myth. It's a piece of political propaganda commissioned by Emperor Augustus to legitimize his rule and unify the Roman people. By tracing Rome's origins back to the heroic Aeneas, Virgil creates a narrative that connects the empire to the divine, emphasizing its destined greatness. The epic also reflects Roman values such as loyalty to the state, respect for the gods, and the importance of family and tradition. Beyond its political purpose, the Aeneid has had a profound influence on Western literature. Its themes of fate, sacrifice, and the tension between personal desires and public duty resonate across cultures and eras. Writers from Dante to Milton have drawn inspiration from Virgil's work, and the Aeneid remains a cornerstone of classical literature. As we leave Aeneas to his hard-won destiny, we prepare to delve into the icy realms of Norse mythology, where the creation of the world unfolds in a tale as dramatic as it is profound. As the tale of Aeneas fades into the annals of Roman glory, we now journey northward, where the icy winds of Norse mythology carry us to a world born from chaos and shaped by the gods. Here, in the frostbitten void of Ginnungagap, the story of creation begins not with light, but with the collision of fire and ice. From this primordial clash emerges Ymir, the first being, a giant whose body becomes the very fabric of the world. Ymir, born from the mingling of frost and flame, is no ordinary creature. He is the ancestor of all giants, and from his sweat more giants spring forth. Yet, Ymir's existence is not solitary. From the melting ice, another being emerges, Audhumla, the cosmic cow. As Ymir feeds on her milk, Audhumla licks the salty ice, revealing Beri, the first of the Aesir gods. Beri's descendants, Odin and his brothers Vili and Vi, will play a pivotal role in shaping the cosmos. The brothers, driven by a divine purpose, confront Ymir. In a violent act of creation, they slay the giant and use his body to craft the world. Ymir's flesh becomes the earth, his blood the seas, his bones the mountains, and his skull the sky. Even his eyebrows are repurposed, forming the protective barrier of Midgard, the realm of humans. This act of creation is not just physical but deeply symbolic, reflecting the Norse belief in sacrifice and transformation as the foundation of existence. From Ymir's body, the gods also fashioned the first humans, Ask and Embla, from two pieces of driftwood. Odin breathes life into them, Vili grants them thought and motion, and Vi bestows them with senses and speech. These first humans are placed in Midgard, a realm encircled by Ymir's eyebrows, protected yet connected to the wider cosmos. This act underscores the Norse view of humanity as both fragile and significant, bound to the gods and the natural world. The creation myth also establishes the Norse cosmological framework, with Yggdrasil, the world tree, at its center. This immense ash tree connects the 9 realms, from Asgard, home of the gods, to Hel, the realm of the dead. Yggdrasil is both a physical and spiritual axis, embodying the interconnectedness of all things. Its roots and branches are tended by the Norns, who weave the fates of gods and mortals alike, reinforcing the Norse belief in destiny and the inevitability of fate. This myth of creation is not merely a story of origins, but a reflection of Norse cultural values. The slaying of Ymir and the shaping of the world from his body highlight themes of bravery, resourcefulness, and the transformative power of violence. The gods' actions are not condemned but celebrated, as they bring order from chaos and create a world where life can flourish. This ethos of courage and resilience permeates Norse mythology, from the deeds of Thor to the wisdom of Odin. The myth also underscores the Norse acceptance of fate. Just as Ymir's death was inevitable, so too is the eventual destruction of the world in Ragnarok. Yet, even in the face of this apocalyptic end, there is hope for renewal. The cyclical nature of creation and destruction reflects a worldview that embraces both the beauty and brutality of existence, urging individuals to live with honor and courage, regardless of the challenges they face. As we leave the frost-covered realms of Norse creation, we prepare to witness the ultimate test of these values, the cataclysmic battle of Ragnarok, where gods and giants clash in a final, fateful confrontation. But that is a tale for another time. For now, let us reflect on the enduring legacy of Ymir and the world born from his sacrifice, a world that continues to inspire awe and wonder in those who hear its story. Now, as the echoes of creation fade, we step into the shadow of an inevitable end, the myth of Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. This apocalyptic tale is not just a story of destruction, but a profound exploration of cyclical renewal, a theme that resonates deeply in both ancient Norse culture and modern apocalyptic narratives. Ragnarok begins with a series of ominous signs. The world grows colder as Fimbulwinter, a brutal and unending winter, descends upon Midgard. The sun and moon are devoured by the wolves Skoll and Hati, plunging the world into darkness. The bonds of kinship and honor unravel as brother turns against brother and chaos reigns. These events are not random but foretold, a reminder of the Norse belief in the inescapable nature of fate. At the heart of Ragnarok is the final battle between the gods and their ancient enemies, the giants. Odin, the All-Father, leads the Aesir gods into battle, armed with his spear Gungnir and accompanied by his chosen warriors, the Einherjar, who have trained in Valhalla for this very moment. Thor, the thunder god, faces Jormungandr, the world serpent, in a duel that ends in mutual destruction. Freya, the god of fertility, falls to the fire giant Surtur, whose flaming sword sets the world ablaze. Even Loki, the trickster, breaks free from his bonds to join the giants, turning against the gods he once called kin. The battle is catastrophic. Gods and giants alike fall, and the earth is consumed by fire and flood. Yet Ragnarok is not merely an end, it is also a beginning. From the ashes of destruction, a new world emerges. The earth rises from the sea, green and fertile once more. The surviving gods, including Odin's sons Vidar and Vali, along with Thor's sons Magni and Modi, gather to rebuild. Two humans, Lif and Lithrasir, who hid in Yggdrasil's branches, repopulate the earth, ensuring the continuation of life. This cyclical nature of destruction and renewal is central to the myth of Ragnarok. It reflects the Norse understanding of existence as a series of cycles where endings are inseparable from new beginnings. The gods' willingness to face their fate with courage and honor, even in the face of certain doom, underscores the values of bravery and resilience that permeate Norse mythology. Ragnarok's influence extends far beyond the ancient Norse world. Its themes of apocalyptic destruction and rebirth have shaped countless modern narratives from literature to film. Stories of global catastrophes, whether through natural disasters, wars, or cosmic events, often echo the imagery and themes of Ragnarok. The idea of a world-ending event followed by renewal continues to captivate audiences, offering both a warning and a promise, a reminder of the fragility of existence and the enduring hope for a better future. As we leave the smoldering ruins of Ragnarok behind, we carry with us the lessons of this myth, the inevitability of change, the courage to face the unknown, and the enduring belief in renewal. These themes, woven into the fabric of Norse mythology, continue to inspire and challenge us, urging us to confront our own trials with the same resilience and hope. And now, as the sun rises on a new chapter, we turn our gaze to the epic tales of the Ramayana, where duty, loyalty, and the eternal battle between good and evil take center stage. As the echoes of Ragnarok's final battle fade, we journey now to the lush landscapes of ancient India, where the epic tale of the Ramayana unfolds. This timeless story, deeply rooted in Hindu mythology, is not just a narrative of heroism and adventure, but a profound exploration of duty, loyalty, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. At its heart are three central figures: Rama, the virtuous prince; Sita, his devoted wife; and Hanuman, the loyal monkey god, whose actions shape the destiny of an entire world. The Ramayana begins with Rama, the rightful heir to the throne of Ayodhya, who is exiled to the forest for 14 years due to a twist of fate and the schemes of his stepmother. Despite the injustice, Rama accepts his exile with grace, embodying the ideals of dharma, or righteous duty. His wife, Sita, and his loyal brother, Lakshmana, choose to accompany him, demonstrating unwavering loyalty and sacrifice. Together, they face the trials of the wilderness, their bond a testament to the power of love and devotion. But the peace of their exile is shattered when Sita is abducted by Ravana, the 10-headed demon king of Lanka. Ravana, driven by pride and desire, represents the forces of chaos and evil, while Rama stands as the embodiment of virtue and order. The abduction of Sita sets the stage for an epic conflict, one that will test the limits of courage, faith, and perseverance. Enter Hanuman, the monkey god and one of the most beloved figures in Hindu mythology. Hanuman's devotion to Rama is unparalleled. With his immense strength, intelligence, and unwavering loyalty, he becomes Rama's greatest ally. Hanuman's leap across the ocean to Lanka, his discovery of Sita, and his role in rallying an army of monkeys and bears to aid Rama are legendary. His actions not only advance the plot but also symbolize the power of selfless service and devotion. The battle that follows is monumental. Rama, with the help of Hanuman and his army, confronts Ravana and his demon forces. The clash is not just physical but symbolic, representing the eternal struggle between righteousness and corruption. Rama's victory over Ravana, achieved through his adherence to Dharma and the support of his allies, restores balance and order to the world. Sita's eventual rescue and the couple's triumphant return to Ayodhya mark the triumph of good over evil, a theme that resonates deeply in Hindu culture. Yet the Ramayana is more than a tale of heroism. It is a moral compass offering lessons on duty, loyalty, and the importance of upholding one's principles even in the face of adversity. Rama's unwavering commitment to Dharma, Sita's steadfast loyalty, and Hanuman's selfless devotion serve as guiding ideals for millions. The epic also explores complex themes such as the nature of justice, the role of women in society, and the consequences of pride and greed. The cultural significance of the Ramayana cannot be overstated. It has shaped the spiritual, social, and artistic fabric of South Asia for centuries. The story is retold in countless forms, from classical dance and theatre to modern films and television series. Festivals like Diwali, which celebrates Rama's return to Ayodhya, are observed with great fervor across the region. The Ramayana's teachings continue to inspire, offering timeless wisdom and moral guidance. As we reflect on the Ramayana, we are reminded of the enduring power of stories to shape our values and beliefs. The epic's themes of duty, loyalty, and the triumph of good over evil resonate across cultures and generations, offering lessons that remain relevant even today. And now, as the sun sets on this chapter, we prepare to delve into another monumental epic, the Mahabharata, where the complexities of human nature and the consequences of war take center stage. As the echoes of the Ramayana's triumphant return to Ayodhya fade, we now step into the vast and intricate world of the Mahabharata, an epic that stands as one of the most profound and complex narratives in human history. This monumental tale, often described as the longest epic poem ever written, is not just a story of war but a deep exploration of human nature, morality, and the eternal struggle between right and wrong. At its core lies the Great Kurukshetra War, a conflict between two branches of the same royal family, the virtuous Pandavas and their cousins, the power-hungry Kauravas. The Mahabharata begins with the kingdom of Hastinapura, where the Pandavas and Kauravas grow up together but are destined for a bitter rivalry. The Pandavas, led by the righteous Yudhishthira, embody the principles of justice and duty, while the Kauravas, led by the ambitious Duryodhana, are consumed by greed and envy. The tension between the two families escalates over time, culminating in a game of dice where the Pandavas lose their kingdom and are forced into exile for 13 years. This exile becomes a crucible, testing their resilience, unity, and commitment to Dharma. At the heart of the Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita, a sacred dialogue that takes place on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. As the war looms, Arjuna, one of the Pandava brothers and a mighty warrior, is overcome with doubt and moral anguish. He turns to his charioteer, Lord Krishna, who reveals himself as the divine incarnation of Vishnu. In their conversation, Krishna imparts timeless wisdom on duty, righteousness, and the nature of existence. The Bhagavad Gita's teachings transcend the battlefield, offering profound insights into the human condition and the path to spiritual liberation. The war itself is a cataclysmic event lasting 18 days and involving countless warriors, gods, and celestial beings. The Pandavas, guided by Krishna's wisdom and their own adherence to Dharma, ultimately emerge victorious. However, the victory is bittersweet as the cost of war is immense. The Mahabharata does not shy away from depicting the horrors of conflict, the moral dilemmas faced by its characters, and the devastating consequences of human ambition and pride. It serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of ethical conduct. Beyond its narrative, the Mahabharata has had a profound impact on Indian culture, ethics, and spirituality. Its characters and stories are woven into the fabric of daily life, serving as moral exemplars and cautionary tales. The Bhagavad Gita, in particular, is revered as a spiritual guide, offering practical wisdom on how to live a life of purpose and integrity. Its teachings on selfless action, devotion, and the pursuit of truth continue to inspire millions around the world. The Mahabharata also explores complex themes such as the nature of justice, the role of fate, and the interplay between free will and destiny. It challenges its audience to reflect on their own lives and choices, encouraging them to strive for a balance between material success and spiritual fulfillment. The epic's enduring relevance lies in its ability to speak to the universal human experience, offering lessons that resonate across time and culture. As we leave the battlefield of Kurukshetra, we carry with us the Mahabharata's timeless wisdom and its call to uphold Dharma in the face of adversity. This epic, like the Ramayana, reminds us of the power of stories to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. And now, as the dust settles on this chapter, we prepare to journey westward, where the legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table await, offering a new perspective on heroism, chivalry, and the quest for the divine. As the echoes of the Mahabharata's battlefield fade, we now cross the seas to the misty hills of ancient Britain, where the legend of King Arthur begins to unfold. This tale, steeped in mystery and romance, has captivated imaginations for centuries, weaving together themes of heroism, loyalty, and the eternal quest for the divine. At its heart lies King Arthur, a figure who embodies the ideals of justice, leadership, and the pursuit of a higher purpose. The story of King Arthur begins with his miraculous birth and his rise to power, guided by the wise wizard Merlin. As a young boy, Arthur pulls the enchanted sword Excalibur from the stone, proving his divine right to rule and uniting the fractured kingdoms of Britain. His reign is marked by the establishment of Camelot, a utopian kingdom where justice and chivalry reign supreme. Here, Arthur gathers the Knights of the Round Table, a fellowship of noble warriors bound by a code of honor and a shared quest for the Holy Grail. The Round Table itself is a symbol of equality and unity, where every knight, regardless of rank, has an equal voice. This ideal of fairness and mutual respect becomes a cornerstone of medieval chivalry, influencing the moral and social codes of the time. The knights, including the valiant Sir Lancelot, the loyal Sir Gawain, and the pure-hearted Sir Galahad, embark on perilous adventures, battling dragons, rescuing damsels, and upholding the values of courage and integrity. Central to the Arthurian legend is the quest for the Holy Grail, the sacred cup said to hold the power of eternal life. This quest represents not only a physical journey but also a spiritual one, as the knights confront their own flaws and strive for moral perfection. The Grail becomes a symbol of divine grace and the ultimate reward for those who live by the principles of faith, humility, and selflessness. Yet, the quest also reveals the fragility of human ambition, as not all knights are deemed worthy to achieve it. The legend of King Arthur is not without its tragedies. The betrayal of Sir Lancelot and Queen Guinevere's love affair shatters the unity of Camelot, leading to the kingdom's downfall. Arthur's final battle against his treacherous nephew Mordred at Camlan marks the end of an era, as the once great king is mortally wounded and taken to the mystical Isle of Avalon to heal. The story leaves us with the promise of Arthur's eventual return, a symbol of hope and renewal in times of darkness. Beyond its captivating narrative, the legend of King Arthur has had a profound impact on British national identity and medieval culture. The ideals of chivalry, as embodied by Arthur and his knights, shaped the moral and social expectations of the nobility, influencing literature, art, and even the conduct of real-life knights. The tales of Camelot and the Round Table became a source of national pride, reinforcing the idea of Britain as a land of noble heritage and divine destiny. The Arthurian legend also explores timeless themes such as the tension between personal desire and duty, the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, and the consequences of betrayal. It challenges its audience to reflect on the nature of leadership, the importance of unity, and the enduring power of hope. These themes continue to resonate, inspiring countless adaptations in literature, film, and popular culture. As we leave the enchanted world of Camelot, we carry with us the enduring legacy of King Arthur and his knights. Their stories remind us of the power of ideals to shape societies and inspire individuals to strive for greatness. And now, as the mists of Avalon recede, we prepare to explore another legendary tale. The myth of Atlantis, a story of a lost civilization that has fascinated humanity for millennia. As the mists of Avalon fade into memory, we now set our sights on a tale that has sparked curiosity and debate for centuries: the myth of Atlantis. This legendary island, first described by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, has become one of history's most enduring mysteries. In his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Plato recounts the story of Atlantis as a powerful and advanced civilization that existed over 9,000 years before his time. According to him, Atlantis was a utopia of unparalleled wealth, technology, and military might, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato describes Atlantis as a marvel of engineering, with concentric rings of water and land, grand palaces, and a thriving society governed by wise and just rulers. The Atlanteans were said to have harnessed the power of nature, creating a paradise that seemed almost divine. But their prosperity was not to last. Over time, the people of Atlantis grew arrogant and greedy, abandoning their virtues and turning their backs on the gods. In a single day and night of catastrophic earthquakes and floods, the entire island was swallowed by the sea, vanishing without a trace. The story of Atlantis has fascinated scholars, explorers, and dreamers for generations. Some believe Plato's account was based on real historical events, pointing to ancient civilizations like the Minoans or the eruption of Thera as possible inspirations. Others argue that Atlantis was purely a philosophical allegory, a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the fragility of human achievement. Regardless of its origins, the myth has inspired countless theories about its possible location, from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean and even Antarctica. The allure of Atlantis extends far beyond its historical or philosophical roots. It has become a symbol of lost knowledge and forgotten greatness, capturing the imagination of writers, artists, and filmmakers. From Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea to modern blockbusters like Aquaman, Atlantis continues to inspire stories of exploration and discovery. Its legend has also fueled real-world expeditions, with adventurers and scientists searching for evidence of its existence beneath the waves. The myth of Atlantis also raises profound questions about human ambition and the consequences of our actions. It serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between progress and responsibility, and the potential for even the greatest civilizations to fall. The story challenges us to reflect on our own society's values and the legacy we hope to leave behind. As we delve into the mysteries of Atlantis, we are reminded of the power of myth to ignite curiosity and inspire exploration. Whether as a historical enigma or a timeless parable, the tale of Atlantis continues to captivate and challenge us, urging us to seek answers to the unknown. And now, as the waves of the Atlantic recede, we prepare to journey to the sands of ancient Egypt, where the myth of Osiris and Isis awaits, a story of love, betrayal, and the promise of eternal life. As the waves of the Atlantic settle, we now journey to the golden sands of ancient Egypt, where the myth of Osiris and Isis unfolds, a tale of love, betrayal, and the promise of eternal life. This story, central to Egyptian mythology, not only shaped their understanding of death and the afterlife, but also reinforced the divine authority of their kings. Osiris, the god of the underworld and fertility, was once a wise and benevolent ruler of Egypt. His reign brought prosperity and order to the land, earning him the love of his people. However, his brother Set, consumed by jealousy and ambition, plotted against him. In a treacherous act, Set tricked Osiris into lying in a beautifully crafted coffin, which he then sealed and cast into the Nile. Osiris drowned and his body was carried far from Egypt, leaving the kingdom in chaos. But the story does not end there. Isis, Osiris's devoted wife and sister, refused to accept his death. With unwavering determination, she searched the lands for his body, eventually finding it in the distant city of Byblos. Using her divine powers, Isis resurrected Osiris long enough to conceive their son, Horus, who would later avenge his father's death. However, Set discovered Osiris's body once more and, in a fit of rage, dismembered it into 14 pieces, scattering them across Egypt. Undeterred, Isis embarked on a second quest, gathering each piece of Osiris's body with the help of her sister Nephthys and the jackal-headed god Anubis. Through her magic, she reassembled Osiris, creating the first mummy and ensuring his resurrection in the afterlife. Though Osiris could no longer rule the living, he became the lord of the underworld, presiding over the judgment of souls and offering the promise of eternal life to those deemed worthy. The myth of Osiris and Isis profoundly influenced Egyptian beliefs about death and the afterlife. It introduced the concept of resurrection, symbolized by the annual flooding of the Nile, which brought life to the barren land. The story also reinforced the idea of divine kingship, as pharaohs were seen as earthly embodiments of Horus, the rightful heir to Osiris's throne. Through rituals and ceremonies, the Egyptians sought to emulate Osiris's journey, ensuring their own passage to the afterlife. Beyond its religious significance, the myth of Osiris and Isis resonates as a timeless tale of love, loyalty, and the triumph of good over evil. It reminds us of the enduring power of devotion and the hope for renewal, even in the face of overwhelming loss. As we leave the banks of the Nile, we prepare to explore another Egyptian myth, the journey of Ra and the sun boat, a story that illuminates the cycle of life and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. As the story of Osiris and Isis fades into the shadows of the underworld, we now ascend to the heavens, where the sun god Ra begins his eternal voyage across the sky. The myth of Ra and the sun boat is a cornerstone of Egyptian cosmology, weaving together themes of creation, renewal, and the unending battle between light and darkness. This tale not only shaped the Egyptians' understanding of the natural world, but also left a lasting legacy on how other cultures viewed the sun and its divine power. Each day, Ra embarks on his journey aboard the sun boat, known as the Manjet, sailing across the sky from east to west. As he travels, he brings light and warmth to the world, sustaining life and order. But his voyage is far from peaceful. Ra must navigate treacherous waters, facing the serpent god Apep, who seeks to plunge the world into eternal darkness. Apep, the embodiment of chaos, attacks the sun boat each day, threatening to devour Ra and extinguish the sun. Yet, with the help of other gods and the prayers of the Egyptian people, Ra triumphs over Apep, ensuring the sun rises again the next morning. But Ra's journey does not end with the setting sun. As night falls, he enters the underworld, boarding a second boat called the Mesektet. Here, he travels through the realm of the dead, facing new challenges and dangers. The underworld is a place of trials where Ra must confront the forces of chaos and decay. Yet, even in this dark realm, Ra's light brings hope and renewal. His presence revitalizes the souls of the deceased, guiding them toward the promise of eternal life. By dawn, Ra emerges victorious, reborn, and ready to begin his journey anew. This daily cycle of Ra's journey symbolized the Egyptians' understanding of life, death, and rebirth. The rising sun represented creation and the triumph of order over chaos, while the setting sun mirrored the inevitability of death. Yet the promise of Ra's return each morning offered hope for renewal and the continuation of life. This belief was deeply intertwined with Egyptian rituals, as they saw their pharaohs as earthly embodiments of Ra, tasked with maintaining Ma'at or cosmic balance. The myth of Ra and the sunboat also had a profound influence beyond Egypt. Many cultures adopted similar solar deities, each reflecting the sun's life-giving power and its role in the cycle of day and night. From the Greek god Helios to the Aztec sun god Tanatia, the legacy of Ra's journey can be seen in myths across the globe. These stories remind us of humanity's shared fascination with the sun and its central role in shaping our understanding of the world. As we leave the radiant glow of Ra's sunboat, we prepare to explore another ancient myth, one that takes us to the heart of Mesoamerica, where the Mayan creation story unfolds in the sacred text of the Popol Vuh. This tale of heroism, sacrifice, and the cyclical nature of time offers a glimpse into a world where gods and mortals shape the destiny of the universe. As the sun sets on the radiant journey of Ra, we now step into the lush, vibrant world of the Maya, where the sacred text of the Popol Vuh unfolds a tale of creation, heroism, and the eternal cycle of time. This ancient Mayan myth, often referred to as the Book of the People, offers a profound glimpse into the cosmology and values of one of Mesoamerica's most remarkable civilizations. At its heart lies the story of the hero twins, Hunahpu and Xbalanque, whose adventures and sacrifices shape the destiny of both gods and mortals. The Popol Vuh begins with the creation of the world, a process marked by trial and error. The gods, seeking to create beings capable of worshipping them, first fashion humans from mud, but these creations dissolve in the rain, unable to sustain themselves. Next, they carve humans from wood, but these beings lack souls and fail to honor their creators. Finally, the gods craft humans from maize, the sacred crop that sustains life. These maize people are the ancestors of humanity, embodying the connection between the divine and the earthly. Central to the Popol Vuh are the hero twins, Hunahpu and Xbalanque, whose journey is one of courage, cunning, and sacrifice. Their story begins with their father and uncle, who are skilled ball players. When the lords of the underworld, Xibalba, challenge them to a game, the brothers are lured into a trap and meet their demise. But their legacy lives on through their sons, Hunahpu and Xbalanque, who inherit their father's talents and determination. The twins embark on a quest to avenge their family, facing the treacherous lords of Xibalba in a series of trials that test their wit, strength, and unity. The twins' journey is not just a tale of revenge, but also a reflection of the Mayan understanding of life's cyclical nature. Through their trials, they confront themes of death and rebirth, sacrifice and renewal. In one of the most dramatic moments, the twins allow themselves to be sacrificed and then resurrected, outsmarting the lords of Xibalba and restoring balance to the world. Their triumph symbolizes the eternal struggle between order and chaos, a theme that resonates deeply in Mayan culture. The Popol Vuh also highlights the importance of sacrifice in maintaining cosmic harmony. The gods demand offerings, and the hero twins willingly give of themselves to ensure the continuity of life. This idea of sacrifice is mirrored in Mayan rituals, where bloodletting and offerings were seen as essential to sustaining the world. The myth reinforces the belief that life is a delicate balance, requiring both human effort and divine favor to endure. Beyond its rich narrative, the Popol Vuh holds immense cultural significance. It served as a guide for the Maya, shaping their understanding of the universe, their place within it, and their responsibilities to the gods. The story of the hero twins became a source of inspiration, teaching lessons of resilience, teamwork, and the power of perseverance. Even today, the Popol Vuh continues to be a vital part of Mesoamerican heritage, offering timeless insights into the human condition. As we leave the world of the Maya and their sacred text, we prepare to journey further into the myths of the Americas, where the Aztec creation myth of the five suns awaits. This tale of cosmic cycles and divine sacrifice will reveal yet another layer of humanity's quest to understand the mysteries of existence. As the echoes of the Maya's sacred Popol Vuh fade, we step into the vibrant and tumultuous world of the Aztecs, where creation is not a single event but a series of cosmic cycles, each marked by destruction and rebirth. The Aztec creation myth of the five suns is a profound narrative that reveals their understanding of the universe as a delicate balance of chaos and order, sustained by divine sacrifice. At the heart of this myth is the belief that the world has been created and destroyed 4 times before the current era, each cycle governed by a different sun. These suns represent distinct epochs, each ending in catastrophe, floods, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, and jaguars devouring the earth. The 5th sun, the one under which we now live, was born through the ultimate act of sacrifice. According to the myth, the gods gathered at Teotihuacan, the sacred city, to decide who would become the new sun. 2 gods, Nanahuatzin and Texistecatl, stepped forward. Nanahuatzin, humble and selfless, offered himself willingly, while Texistecatl hesitated, driven by fear. When the time came, Nanahuatzin leaped into the sacred fire, transforming into the sun. Inspired by his courage, Texistecatl followed, becoming the moon. But the sun and moon remained motionless in the sky until the other gods sacrificed themselves, giving their blood and energy to set the celestial bodies in motion. This act of collective sacrifice ensured the continuation of life and the stability of the cosmos. The Aztec creation myth deeply influenced their worldview and rituals. The idea that the gods sacrificed themselves to sustain the universe placed immense importance on the concept of reciprocity. The Aztecs believed that to maintain cosmic order, humans must also offer sacrifices to the gods. This belief manifested in their practice of human sacrifice, where the blood of captives and volunteers was seen as a vital offering to nourish the gods and keep the sun moving across the sky. These rituals were not acts of cruelty but acts of necessity, rooted in the understanding that life itself depended on the balance between giving and receiving. The myth also reflects the Aztec understanding of time as cyclical rather than linear. Each sun represents an era with its own characteristics and eventual demise, emphasizing the impermanence of existence and the inevitability of change. This cyclical view of time shaped their agricultural practices, religious ceremonies, and even their architecture, with temples and pyramids symbolizing the connection between the earthly and the divine. Beyond its religious significance, the myth of the five suns served as a moral guide, teaching the values of humility, courage, and selflessness. Nanahuatzin's willingness to sacrifice himself for the greater good became a model for human behavior, encouraging individuals to prioritize the well-being of the community over personal gain. The story also reinforced the idea that life is a gift sustained by sacrifice, fostering a sense of gratitude and responsibility among the Aztecs. As we leave the Aztec world and its intricate cosmology, we prepare to explore the myth of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god whose story intertwines creation, wisdom, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. This next chapter will reveal how one of Mesoamerica's most revered deities shaped the beliefs and culture of an entire civilization. As the story of the Aztec creation myth fades into the horizon, we now turn our gaze to the enigmatic figure of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god whose tale weaves together creation, wisdom, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Quetzalcoatl, whose name means feathered serpent, is one of the most complex and revered deities in Mesoamerican mythology. His story is not just one of divine power but also of profound humanity, embodying the duality of existence, both as a creator and a flawed being. Quetzalcoatl's role in creation is central to Aztec cosmology. According to legend, after the gods sacrificed themselves to set the fifth sun in motion, Quetzalcoatl descended into the underworld known as Mictlan to retrieve the bones of the previous inhabitants of the earth. With these bones and his own blood, he created humanity, breathing life into the new world. This act of creation highlights his role as a life-giver and a bridge between the divine and the mortal realms. The feathered serpent symbolizes this duality, the feathers representing the heavens and the serpent embodying the earth, a perfect balance of celestial and terrestrial forces. But Quetzalcoatl's story is not without its trials. His downfall is a tale of temptation, betrayal, and exile. In one version of the myth, Quetzalcoatl is tricked by his rival, Tezcatlipoca, the god of night and sorcery. Tezcatlipoca offers Quetzalcoatl a drink that causes him to lose his divine judgment, leading him to break his vows and fall from grace. Overcome with shame, Quetzalcoatl sets himself on fire and ascends to the heavens, becoming the morning star, Venus. This tragic end underscores the fragility of even the most powerful beings and serves as a reminder of the consequences of hubris and temptation. Quetzalcoatl's influence extended far beyond mythology. He was a symbol of wisdom, knowledge, and the arts, often associated with the wind, the morning star, and the planet Venus. Temples dedicated to Quetzalcoatl, such as the iconic pyramid at Chichen Itza, stand as testaments to his enduring legacy. His image, a feathered serpent, adorned countless artifacts from pottery to codices, serving as a reminder of his dual nature and his role as a mediator between the heavens and the earth. The myth of Quetzalcoatl also played a significant role in shaping Aztec society. He was seen as a patron of priests, artisans, and scholars, embodying the ideals of learning and creativity. His story reinforced the importance of humility and self-reflection, teaching that even the greatest among us are not immune to failure. This moral lesson resonated deeply within Aztec culture, influencing their ethical and spiritual practices. As we prepare to leave the world of Quetzalcoatl, we step into the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the myth of the Jade Emperor, the celestial ruler of Chinese mythology. This next tale will reveal how the heavens themselves were governed and how divine authority shaped the beliefs and traditions of an ancient civilization. As the tale of Quetzalcoatl fades into the celestial tapestry, we now ascend to the heavens of Chinese mythology, where the Jade Emperor reigns supreme. Known as Yu Huang Dadi in Chinese, the Jade Emperor is the supreme ruler of the cosmos, overseeing the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. His story is one of divine authority, cosmic order, and the intricate relationship between the mortal and the divine. The Jade Emperor's origins are as fascinating as his reign. According to legend, he was not always the ruler of heaven. In one version of the myth, he began as a mortal prince who, through acts of extraordinary virtue and wisdom, earned the favor of the gods. After countless lifetimes of selfless deeds and spiritual cultivation, he ascended to the throne of heaven, becoming the ultimate arbiter of justice and harmony. This journey from mortal to divine underscores the Chinese belief in the potential for transcendence through moral excellence and spiritual discipline. As the ruler of heaven, the Jade Emperor governs the celestial bureaucracy, a vast and intricate system of gods, immortals, and spirits who manage the affairs of the universe. This heavenly administration mirrors the structure of imperial China, reflecting the belief that the cosmos operates under a well-ordered hierarchy. The Jade Emperor's court is filled with deities who oversee everything from the weather to human destiny, ensuring that the natural and moral order of the world is maintained. This cosmic governance reinforced the idea of a harmonious universe where every being has a role to play in the grand design. The Jade Emperor's influence extended far beyond mythology, shaping Chinese imperial ideology and religious practices. Emperors of China often claimed the mandate of heaven, a divine right to rule that was believed to be granted by the Jade Emperor himself. This concept legitimized the emperor's authority, linking his rule to the cosmic order and the will of the heavens. The emperor was seen as the earthly counterpart to the Jade Emperor, responsible for maintaining harmony and justice in the human realm. This connection between the divine and the mortal reinforced the emperor's role as a mediator between heaven and earth. Religious practices in China also reflected the reverence for the Jade Emperor. Temples dedicated to him were places of worship and pilgrimage where people sought his blessings for prosperity, health, and good fortune. Festivals such as the Jade Emperor's birthday, celebrated on the 9th day of the Chinese New Year, were marked by elaborate rituals and offerings, symbolizing the people's gratitude and devotion. These practices highlighted the Jade Emperor's role as a benevolent protector and a source of divine favor. The myth of the Jade Emperor also carries profound moral lessons. His rise from mortal to divine ruler emphasizes the values of humility, perseverance, and moral integrity. It teaches that true power comes not from wealth or status but from virtuous living and a commitment to the greater good. This message resonated deeply within Chinese culture, influencing ethical teachings and spiritual practices for centuries. As we prepare to leave the celestial court of the Jade Emperor, we turn our gaze to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the legendary adventures of the Monkey King, a figure whose rebellious spirit and quest for enlightenment have captivated audiences for generations. This next tale will take us into the heart of Chinese folklore, revealing the timeless themes of transformation, wisdom, and the pursuit of truth. As the celestial court of the Jade Emperor fades into the horizon, we now descend into the vibrant world of Chinese folklore, where the legendary Monkey King Sun Wukong takes center stage. Born from a stone egg and imbued with extraordinary powers, Sun Wukong is one of the most iconic figures in Chinese mythology, a character whose rebellious spirit and relentless quest for enlightenment have captivated audiences for centuries. Sun Wukong's story begins with his birth, a miraculous event that sets the stage for his extraordinary life. Emerging from a mystical stone egg atop the mountain of flowers and fruit, he quickly establishes himself as a force to be reckoned with. His natural intelligence and physical prowess allow him to master the arts of combat, magic, and even immortality. However, it is his unyielding ambition and defiance of authority that truly define him. Early in his life, he declares himself the great sage equal to heaven, a title that reflects both his confidence and his audacity. This act of rebellion against the celestial order sets him on a collision course with the gods, including the Jade Emperor himself. The Monkey King's adventures are chronicled in the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, written by Wu Cheng'an during the Ming Dynasty. In this epic tale, Sun Wukong becomes the loyal companion of the Buddhist monk Tang Sanzang, tasked with protecting him on a perilous journey to retrieve sacred scriptures from India. Along the way, the Monkey King faces countless challenges, from battling demons to outwitting celestial beings. Yet it is his internal struggle, his journey from arrogance to humility, from chaos to enlightenment, that forms the heart of the story. Through his trials, Sun Wukong learns the value of discipline, compassion, and selflessness, transforming from a mischievous troublemaker into a true hero. Sun Wukong's character is a fascinating blend of contradictions. He is both a trickster and a protector, a rebel and a loyal servant. His mastery of the 72 transformations allows him to shapeshift at will, symbolizing his adaptability and resourcefulness. His weapon of choice, the magical staff Rui Jingu Bang, which can shrink or grow to any size, represents his boundless potential and indomitable will. These traits make him a relatable and enduring figure, embodying the human struggle for self-improvement and the pursuit of higher truths. The cultural impact of the Monkey King extends far beyond the pages of Journey to the West. In East Asia, Sun Wukong is a beloved symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and the triumph of the underdog. His story has inspired countless adaptations in literature, theater, film, and television, from traditional Chinese opera to modern anime and video games. Each retelling adds new layers to his legend, ensuring that the Monkey King remains a vibrant and relevant figure in contemporary culture. Beyond entertainment, Sun Wukong's journey carries profound spiritual and philosophical lessons. His transformation from a rebellious monkey to an enlightened being mirrors the Buddhist path to enlightenment, emphasizing the importance of overcoming ego and embracing humility. His story also reflects Taoist ideals of harmony and balance as he learns to channel his immense power for the greater good. These themes resonate deeply within Chinese culture, offering timeless wisdom for navigating the complexities of life. As we bid farewell to the Monkey King and his extraordinary adventures, we prepare to step into the next chapter of our mythological journey, where the radiant sun goddess Amaterasu awaits. Her story, steeped in themes of light, renewal, and the divine feminine, will illuminate the rich tapestry of Japanese mythology and its enduring influence on culture and spirituality. As the tales of the Monkey King fade into the distance, we now step into the luminous world of Japanese mythology, where the sun goddess Amaterasu reigns supreme. Her story, one of light, renewal, and the divine feminine, is a cornerstone of Japanese culture and spirituality, offering profound insights into the values and beliefs that have shaped Japan for centuries. Amaterasu, whose name means shining in heaven, is the central figure in the Shinto pantheon and the goddess of the sun. According to legend, she was born from the left eye of the creator god Izanagi, making her one of the most revered deities in Japanese mythology. Her radiance not only illuminates the heavens but also sustains life on earth, symbolizing the vital connection between the divine and the natural world. However, her story takes a dramatic turn when she retreats into a cave, plunging the world into darkness and chaos. The tale of Amaterasu's retreat begins with a conflict between her and her brother, Susanoo, the storm god. Known for his wild and destructive nature, Susanoo's actions grow increasingly reckless, culminating in an act of disrespect that deeply wounds Amaterasu. In her grief and anger, she withdraws into the Ama no Iwato, the heavenly rock cave, sealing the entrance behind her. Without her light, the world is cast into an endless night, crops wither, and despair spreads among both gods and mortals alike. Desperate to restore light and order, the gods devise a plan to lure Amaterasu out of the cave. They gather outside the entrance and create a spectacle of music, laughter, and celebration. The goddess Yuzium, known for her wit and charm, performs a lively dance that captivates the assembled deities. Their laughter and cheers grow so loud that Amaterasu, curious about the commotion, peeks out from the cave. As she does, the gods place a mirror before her, reflecting her own radiant light. Mesmerized by her own brilliance, she steps further out, and the gods quickly seal the cave behind her, restoring light to the world. This myth is rich with themes of light and renewal, symbolizing the cyclical nature of life and the triumph of hope over despair. Amaterasu's return from the cave represents the restoration of balance and harmony, a central tenet of Shinto belief. It also highlights the power of the divine feminine, as Amaterasu's light is essential to the well-being of the world. Her story underscores the importance of unity, creativity, and resilience in overcoming adversity. Amaterasu's connection to the Japanese imperial family further elevates her significance in Japanese culture. According to tradition, the emperors of Japan are direct descendants of Amaterasu, a belief that has legitimized their rule for centuries. This divine lineage is enshrined in the sacred regalia of the imperial family, which includes the mirror used to lure Amaterasu from the cave. These symbols of power and continuity reinforce the goddess's enduring influence on Japanese identity and governance. Beyond its cultural and political implications, the myth of Amaterasu offers timeless lessons about the power of light, both literal and metaphorical. Her story reminds us that even in the darkest moments, hope and renewal are always within reach. It also celebrates the strength and wisdom of the divine feminine, a theme that resonates across cultures and generations. As we leave the radiant world of Amaterasu behind, we prepare to explore the creation of Japan itself, as told through the myth of Izanagi and Izanami. Their tragic yet transformative story will reveal the origins of the Japanese islands and the profound spiritual beliefs that continue to shape this vibrant culture. Now, as we step into the origins of Japan itself, we encounter the divine couple Izanagi and Izanami, whose story is not only a tale of creation but also one of love, loss, and the birth of a nation. According to Japanese mythology, Izanagi and Izanami were the first gods tasked with bringing order to the primordial chaos. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, they dipped a jeweled spear into the ocean below. As they lifted it, droplets fell from the spear and solidified into the first island of Japan, Onogoro. This act marked the beginning of the Japanese archipelago, a land shaped by divine will and purpose. Izanagi and Izanami descended to this newly formed island and decided to marry, establishing the sacred union that would give rise to the gods and the natural world. They performed a ritual around a heavenly pillar, but their first attempt at union was flawed due to a misstep in the ceremony. This mistake led to the birth of deformed or weak offspring, symbolizing the importance of proper rituals and balance in creation. After correcting their error, they successfully gave birth to the islands of Japan, as well as countless deities representing the forces of nature, from the mountains and rivers to the winds and seas. However, their story takes a tragic turn when Izanami dies while giving birth to Kagetsuchi, the fire god. Overwhelmed with grief, Izanagi descends into the underworld, Yomi, to retrieve her. But upon finding her, he discovers that she has already become part of the realm of the dead, her body decaying and surrounded by darkness. Horrified, Izanagi flees, breaking a promise to not look at her, and seals the entrance to Yomi with a massive boulder. This act separates the world of the living from the world of the dead, a division that remains central to Japanese spiritual beliefs. Izanami, enraged by his betrayal, vows to kill 1,000 people each day, while Izanagi counters by promising to create 1,500 new lives daily. This exchange underscores the cyclical nature of life and death, a theme deeply embedded in Japanese culture. Upon his return to the living world, Izanagi purifies himself in a river, and from this act of cleansing, new deities are born, including Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and Susanoo, the storm god. The myth of Izanagi and Izanami is more than just a creation story. It is a reflection of the values and beliefs that have shaped Japanese culture for centuries. Their tale emphasizes the importance of harmony, ritual, and respect for the natural world. It also highlights the duality of life and death, creation and destruction, themes that resonate deeply in Shinto practices and Japanese spirituality. Their influence extends beyond mythology into the cultural and religious fabric of Japan. The rituals of purification, the reverence for natural elements, and the cyclical view of life and death all trace their roots back to this ancient story. Even today, the legacy of Izanagi and Izanami can be seen in Japanese festivals, art, and the enduring connection between the people and their land. As we leave the tragic yet transformative tale of Izanagi and Izanami behind, we prepare to explore another cornerstone of Japanese mythology, the story of the rainbow serpent, a figure whose significance stretches across cultures and continents. This next myth will reveal the profound connections between humanity, nature, and the divine, offering yet another glimpse into the timeless power of storytelling. Now, as we journey from the islands of Japan to the vast landscapes of Australia, we encounter the myth of the rainbow serpent, a powerful and enduring figure in Australian Aboriginal mythology. This creator deity, often depicted as a massive serpent with shimmering, rainbow-colored scales, is deeply intertwined with the natural world, embodying the forces of water, fertility, and the land itself. The rainbow serpent is not just a mythical being but a symbol of life, creation, and the delicate balance of the environment. According to Aboriginal belief, the rainbow serpent played a central role in shaping the earth. In the Dreamtime, the sacred era of creation, the serpent emerged from beneath the ground, carving out rivers, valleys, and mountains as it moved across the land. Its winding path created the waterways that sustain life, while its breath formed the clouds and rain, essential for fertility and growth. The rainbow serpent is also said to have brought forth the first plants, animals, and humans, establishing the interconnectedness of all living things. The rainbow serpent is revered as both a creator and a protector, but it is also a figure of great power and unpredictability. In some stories, the serpent punishes those who disrespect the land or break sacred laws, often through floods or droughts. This duality reflects the Aboriginal understanding of nature as both nurturing and formidable, a force to be respected and honored. The serpent's presence is felt in the cycles of the seasons, the flow of rivers, and the fertility of the soil, making it a central figure in rituals and ceremonies aimed at maintaining harmony with the natural world. In Aboriginal culture, the rainbow serpent is more than a myth. It is a living presence that continues to shape the spiritual and physical landscape. Art, dance, and storytelling often depict the serpent, passing down its significance through generations. These traditions serve not only to preserve the myth, but also to reinforce the values of stewardship, respect for the land, and the interconnectedness of all life. The rainbow serpent reminds us that the earth is not just a resource but a sacred entity, deserving of reverence and care. As we reflect on the myth of the rainbow serpent, we see how it encapsulates the profound connection between humanity and the natural world. This story, like so many others, offers a timeless lesson about the importance of living in harmony with the environment and recognizing the sacredness of the earth. With this understanding, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the concept of the Dreamtime itself, the foundation of Aboriginal spirituality and the source of countless myths that continue to inspire and guide. Now, as we delve deeper into the heart of Australian Aboriginal mythology, we come to the concept of the Dreamtime, the very foundation of Aboriginal spirituality and culture. The Dreamtime, or Tijukurpa as it is known in some Aboriginal languages, is not just a myth or a story, it is a sacred era of creation, a timeless dimension where the past, present, and future intertwine. It is here in the Dreamtime that the ancestors or ancestral beings shape the world as we know it, leaving behind a legacy of stories, laws, and connections that continue to guide Aboriginal life. In the Dreamtime, the ancestral beings emerged from the earth, sky, and water, traveling across the land and performing extraordinary feats. They created mountains, rivers, and deserts, and brought forth the first plants, animals, and humans. These beings were not just creators but also teachers, imparting the laws of life, morality, and the proper way to live in harmony with the land. Every rock, tree, and waterhole holds a story of their journey, making the landscape itself a living map of the Dreamtime. The Dreamtime is not confined to the distant past. It is an ongoing reality that permeates every aspect of Aboriginal life. It is through the Dreamtime that Aboriginal people understand their place in the world, their responsibilities to the land, and their connection to each other. This concept is deeply spiritual, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all things humans, nature, and the ancestral beings. It is a reminder that the land is not just a physical space but a sacred entity, imbued with meaning and purpose. Art plays a vital role in preserving and expressing the stories of the Dreamtime. Aboriginal art, with its intricate dot paintings, symbols, and patterns, is more than just decoration. It is a visual language that conveys the wisdom and teachings of the ancestors. Through art, the stories of the Dreamtime are passed down from generation to generation, ensuring that the knowledge and values of the ancestors remain alive. Dance and song also serve as powerful mediums for storytelling, bringing the Dreamtime to life in vibrant and dynamic ways. The Dreamtime is also central to Aboriginal rituals and ceremonies, which are performed to honor the ancestors, maintain the balance of the natural world, and ensure the well-being of the community. These practices are not mere traditions but essential acts of stewardship, reflecting the deep respect and reverence Aboriginal people have for the land and its sacred stories. The Dreamtime teaches that humans are not separate from nature but an integral part of it, with a responsibility to care for and protect the environment. As we reflect on the Dreamtime, we see how it shapes not only Aboriginal spirituality but also their identity, culture, and way of life. It is a profound and enduring concept that offers a unique perspective on the relationship between humanity and the natural world. The Dreamtime reminds us that the land is not just a resource to be exploited but a living, breathing entity that deserves our respect and care. With this understanding, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the myth of Anansi, the clever trickster spider from West African mythology, and the lessons his stories continue to teach us. Now, as we journey across the vast expanse of mythology, we find ourselves in the rich and vibrant world of West African folklore, where the clever and cunning Anansi takes center stage. Anansi, the trickster spider, is one of the most beloved and enduring figures in African mythology, known for his wit, resourcefulness, and ability to outsmart even the most powerful beings. His stories, passed down through generations, are not just entertaining tales but also profound lessons in morality, resilience, and the power of intelligence over brute strength. Anansi's origins trace back to the Akan people of Ghana, where he is often depicted as a spider, a creature small in size but immense in cunning. His tales are filled with clever schemes and daring exploits, where he uses his wits to overcome challenges, outmaneuver his enemies, and sometimes even the gods themselves. One of the most famous stories involves Anansi tricking the sky god Niame into giving him all the stories in the world, which he then shares with humanity. This act not only highlights Anansi's cleverness but also underscores the importance of storytelling as a means of preserving culture and wisdom. But Anansi is more than just a trickster, he is a teacher. His stories often carry moral lessons, teaching listeners about the consequences of greed, the value of humility, and the importance of thinking before acting. For example, in one tale, Anansi's greed leads him to try to hoard all the wisdom in the world, only to realize that true wisdom lies in sharing and community. These lessons were particularly significant during the transatlantic slave trade, when African traditions and stories were at risk of being lost. Enslaved Africans carried Anansi's tales with them across the ocean, using them as a way to preserve their cultural identity and pass down their heritage to future generations. In the Caribbean and the Americas, Anansi's stories evolved, blending with local traditions and giving rise to new versions of his tales. He became a symbol of resistance and resilience, embodying the spirit of those who used their wits to survive and resist oppression. Anansi's cleverness and ability to outsmart those in power resonated deeply with enslaved communities, offering hope and a sense of agency in the face of adversity. Anansi's influence extends far beyond folklore. His stories have inspired countless works of literature, art, and even modern media, where his character continues to captivate audiences with his charm and ingenuity. He remains a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of storytelling and the ways in which myths can shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. As we reflect on the tales of Anansi, we see how they serve as a bridge between the past and the present, connecting us to the wisdom and resilience of those who came before. His stories remind us that even the smallest among us can achieve great things through intelligence, creativity, and determination. With this in mind, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the epic story of Sundiata Keita, the founder of the Mali Empire, and the lessons his legacy continues to teach us about leadership, destiny, and the triumph of good over evil. Now, as the horizon of our mythological journey shifts, we step into the world of West African oral tradition, where the epic tale of Sundiata Keita unfolds. Sundiata, the founder of the Mali Empire, is a figure whose story is not just a chronicle of historical events, but a profound exploration of destiny, leadership, and the enduring battle between good and evil. His legend, passed down through generations by griots, the traditional storytellers of West Africa, remains one of the most celebrated narratives in African history and culture. Sundiata's story begins with a prophecy. Before his birth, it was foretold that he would grow to become a great king, uniting the Mandinka people and establishing an empire that would stand as a beacon of strength and prosperity. But his path to greatness was far from easy. Born into royalty, Sundiata faced early adversity when his father, King Nare Magan Konate, passed away, leaving the kingdom vulnerable to the ambitions of a cruel and power-hungry ruler, Saumayoro Kante. Sundiata, who was crippled as a child, was exiled along with his mother, Sogolan, and his siblings, forced to live in obscurity and hardship. Yet, even in exile, the seeds of his destiny were taking root. What makes Sundiata's story so compelling is not just his eventual rise to power, but the qualities that define his journey. Despite his physical limitations, Sundiata's determination and resilience never wavered. Through sheer willpower and the support of his mother, he overcame his disability, learning to walk and eventually becoming a formidable warrior. His transformation from a marginalized outcast to a charismatic leader is a testament to the power of perseverance and the belief in one's destiny. Sundiata's return to his homeland marked the beginning of a legendary campaign to reclaim his birthright. With the help of allies and his own strategic brilliance, he rallied the Mandinka people, uniting them against the tyranny of Saumayoro Kante. The climactic battle at Karina was not just a military victory, but a symbolic triumph of good over evil, justice over oppression. Sundiata's leadership was marked by wisdom, fairness, and a deep sense of responsibility toward his people, qualities that would define the Mali Empire as a center of wealth, learning, and cultural flourishing. The Epic of Sundiata is more than a historical account. It is a rich tapestry of themes that resonate across time and cultures. It explores the idea of destiny, showing how individuals can rise to fulfill their potential despite overwhelming odds. It celebrates the qualities of a true leader: courage, humility, and the ability to inspire others. And it underscores the timeless struggle between good and evil, reminding us that justice and unity can prevail even in the face of great adversity. As we reflect on Sundiata's legacy, we see how his story continues to inspire. It is a reminder that leadership is not about power for its own sake, but about serving others and building a legacy that endures. His epic, preserved through the oral tradition of the griots, remains a vital part of West African heritage, a living testament to the power of storytelling to shape our understanding of history and humanity. With this in mind, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the myth of the phoenix, a symbol of rebirth and immortality that transcends cultures and eras. Now, as we step into the realm of timeless symbols, we encounter the myth of the phoenix, a creature whose story of rebirth and renewal has captivated imaginations across cultures and centuries. This legendary bird, known for its ability to rise from its own ashes, embodies the enduring themes of resurrection, immortality, and the cyclical nature of life. Its tale is not confined to a single culture but spans the globe, appearing in Egyptian, Greek, and Chinese traditions, each adding its own unique flavor to the myth. In ancient Egypt, the phoenix was closely associated with the sun god Ra. symbolizing the daily cycle of the sun's journey across the sky and its rebirth at dawn. Known as the Bennu bird, it was said to emerge from the flames of creation, representing the eternal renewal of life and the universe. The Egyptians saw the phoenix as a powerful emblem of regeneration, linking it to their beliefs about the afterlife and the soul's journey through death and rebirth. In Greek mythology, the phoenix took on a slightly different form but retained its core symbolism. Here, the bird was said to live for hundreds of years before building a nest of aromatic herbs and spices, which it would then ignite, allowing itself to be consumed by the flames. From the ashes, a new phoenix would arise, young and vibrant, ready to begin the cycle anew. This imagery resonated deeply with Greek ideas of immortality and the eternal return, influencing later philosophical and literary traditions. Meanwhile, in Chinese culture, the phoenix or feng huang held a place of honor as one of the four sacred creatures alongside the dragon, the tortoise, and the qilin. Unlike its Western counterpart, the feng huang was often depicted as a composite creature, combining the features of various animals to symbolize harmony and balance. It represented the union of yin and yang, embodying the ideals of virtue, grace, and prosperity. In Chinese mythology, the phoenix was also seen as a harbinger of peace and a protector of the righteous, its appearance signaling the arrival of a golden age. What unites these diverse interpretations of the phoenix is its universal message of hope and renewal. Whether as the Bennu bird of Egypt, the fiery rebirth of the Greek phoenix, or the harmonious feng huang of China, this mythical creature reminds us that even in the face of destruction, there is always the potential for new beginnings. Its story speaks to the resilience of the human spirit and the belief that life, in all its forms, is capable of overcoming even the greatest challenges. The phoenix's enduring appeal lies in its ability to transcend cultural boundaries, offering a powerful metaphor for transformation and the triumph of life over death. Its myth continues to inspire art, literature, and even modern-day narratives, serving as a timeless reminder that from the ashes of the old, something new and beautiful can always emerge. As we reflect on the phoenix's legacy, we are reminded of the cyclical nature of existence and the hope that lies in every ending. With this in mind, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the myth of Prometheus, the defiant titan who brought fire to humanity and forever changed the course of history. Now, as we shift our gaze to the heavens, we encounter the defiant figure of Prometheus, a titan whose audacious act of rebellion forever altered the course of human history. In Greek mythology, Prometheus stands as a symbol of ingenuity, defiance, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. His story is one of both triumph and tragedy, a tale that explores the boundaries of power, the cost of enlightenment, and the enduring spirit of humanity. Prometheus, whose name means forethought, was known for his cunning and compassion. Unlike the other titans, he sided with Zeus during the Great War against the older gods, helping to secure victory for the Olympians. Yet, despite his loyalty, Prometheus grew disillusioned with Zeus's rule, particularly his disregard for humanity. At the time, humans lived in darkness, struggling to survive without the tools or knowledge to thrive. Moved by their plight, Prometheus made a fateful decision. He would steal fire from the gods and give it to humanity. This act of defiance was no small feat. Fire, in Greek mythology, was a divine gift reserved for the gods alone. By taking it, Prometheus not only challenged Zeus's authority, but also empowered humanity with the means to cook food, forge tools, and illuminate the night. Fire became a symbol of progress, creativity, and the spark of civilization itself. But this gift came at a great cost. Zeus, enraged by Prometheus's betrayal, devised a cruel punishment. He ordered the Titan to be chained to a mountain where an eagle would feast on his liver each day. Because Prometheus was immortal, his liver would regenerate every night, ensuring his torment was eternal. The myth of Prometheus resonates deeply with themes of rebellion and the human condition. His story is often interpreted as a metaphor for the struggle against tyranny and the pursuit of knowledge, even in the face of overwhelming consequences. Prometheus's act of stealing fire represents the human desire to transcend limitations, to seek understanding, and to challenge the status quo. It is a reminder that progress often comes at a price, and that the quest for enlightenment can be both liberating and perilous. Prometheus's influence extends far beyond Greek mythology. His story has inspired countless works of literature, philosophy, and art. The Romantic poets, for instance, saw Prometheus as a symbol of the individual's struggle against oppressive forces, while modern interpretations often highlight his role as a bringer of technology and innovation. His legacy is a testament to the enduring power of myth to reflect and shape our understanding of the world. As we reflect on Prometheus's story, we are reminded of the dual nature of knowledge and progress. His gift of fire brought humanity light and warmth, but it also ignited the flames of ambition and conflict. It is a tale that challenges us to consider the consequences of our actions and the responsibilities that come with power. With this in mind, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will explore the myth of Pandora and the infamous box that unleashed both hope and despair upon the world. As the echoes of Prometheus's defiance fade, we find ourselves drawn to another pivotal tale in Greek mythology, one that intertwines curiosity, consequence, and a glimmer of hope. This is the story of Pandora, the first woman created by the gods, and the infamous box that would forever change the fate of humanity. Pandora's tale begins with Zeus still seething from Prometheus's betrayal. Seeking retribution, Zeus ordered Hephaestus, the god of craftsmanship, to mold a woman from clay. Each of the gods bestowed her with unique gifts. Aphrodite gave her beauty, Athena granted her wisdom, and Hermes endowed her with cunning and charm. But Zeus had a darker plan in mind. Along with these gifts, he presented Pandora with a sealed jar, often mistranslated as a box, and a single, irresistible instruction: never to open it. Pandora's curiosity, however, proved too powerful to resist. Despite the warnings, she lifted the lid, unleashing a torrent of evils into the world. Sorrow, disease, greed, and countless other afflictions spilled out, spreading across the earth and plaguing humanity. Horrified, Pandora quickly closed the jar, but it was too late. The damage had been done. Yet, as the last of the evils escaped, something remained inside: hope. This myth, rich with symbolism, explores the dual nature of curiosity and its consequences. Pandora's act of opening the jar represents humanity's innate desire to explore the unknown, even when warned of the dangers. It is a reminder that knowledge and discovery often come with unintended repercussions. The evils released into the world symbolize the hardships and challenges that define the human experience, while the lingering presence of hope offers a profound message. Even in the face of despair, there is always a spark of resilience and possibility. The cultural impact of Pandora's story is immense. It has inspired countless interpretations in literature, art, and philosophy, often serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked curiosity and the complexities of human nature. The phrase "Pandora's box" has entered the lexicon as a metaphor for actions that, once taken, unleash irreversible consequences. Yet, the myth also carries a more hopeful undertone, emphasizing that even in the darkest moments, hope remains a powerful force. As we reflect on Pandora's story, we are reminded of the delicate balance between curiosity and caution, and the enduring power of hope to guide us through adversity. With this in mind, we now turn to the next chapter of our journey, where we will delve into the tragic love story of Orpheus and Eurydice, a tale of music, loss, and the unyielding power of love. As the echoes of Pandora's story linger, we now step into the hauntingly beautiful world of Orpheus and Eurydice, a tale that has captivated hearts for centuries with its themes of love, loss, and the transcendent power of music. This myth, one of the most poignant in Greek mythology, begins with Orpheus, a musician of unparalleled talent, whose melodies could charm not only humans and animals but even the gods themselves. His music was said to move stones and calm raging seas, a gift that would soon be tested in the most tragic of ways. Orpheus's love for Eurydice, a nymph of extraordinary grace, was the stuff of legends. Their bond was pure and unbreakable, a love that seemed destined to last forever. But fate had other plans. Shortly after their wedding, Eurydice was bitten by a venomous snake and died, leaving Orpheus heartbroken and inconsolable. Refusing to accept her death, Orpheus made a daring decision. He would descend into the underworld to bring her back. Armed with nothing but his lyre, Orpheus ventured into the realm of Hades, where his music softened the hearts of even the most fearsome guardians. The ferryman Charon, the three-headed dog Cerberus, and even the rulers of the underworld, Hades and Persephone, were moved by his sorrowful melodies. Hades, struck by Orpheus's devotion, agreed to let Eurydice return to the world of the living, but on one condition: Orpheus must not look back at her until they had both reached the surface. Filled with hope, Orpheus began the journey back, Eurydice following silently behind him. But as they neared the light of the living world, doubt crept into Orpheus's mind. Was she truly there? Had Hades deceived him? Unable to resist, he turned to look at her, only to see Eurydice vanish forever, pulled back into the shadows of the underworld. His moment of weakness had cost him everything. This myth is a profound exploration of love's power and the fragility of trust. Orpheus's journey into the underworld symbolizes the lengths to which love can drive us, while his tragic mistake serves as a reminder of the consequences of doubt and impatience. The story also highlights the transformative power of music, which not only soothes but also bridges the gap between life and death. The influence of Orpheus and Eurydice's tale extends far beyond ancient Greece. It has inspired countless works of art, literature, and opera, from Ovid's Metamorphoses to Gluck's Orphe ed Eurydice. The myth's themes resonate deeply with audiences, offering timeless reflections on love, loss, and the human condition. It reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming grief, the beauty of love and art endures. As we leave the sorrowful echoes of Orpheus's lyre behind, we prepare to face another legendary challenge in Greek mythology: the story of Theseus and the Minotaur, a tale of heroism, sacrifice, and the triumph of courage over chaos. As the echoes of Orpheus's lyre fade into the shadows, we now step into the heart of another legendary tale from Greek mythology: the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. This myth, set against the backdrop of ancient Crete, is a gripping narrative of heroism, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. It begins with the Minotaur, a fearsome creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull, born from the unnatural union of Queen Pasiphae and a sacred bull. The Minotaur was imprisoned in a labyrinth, a vast and intricate maze designed by the master craftsman Daedalus, where it devoured young men and women sent as tribute from Athens. Theseus, the son of King Aegeus of Athens, volunteered to be one of the tributes, determined to end the cycle of sacrifice and slay the Minotaur. His journey to Crete was not just a physical quest but a test of courage and resolve. Upon arriving, Theseus caught the attention of Princess Ariadne, who fell in love with him and offered her help. She gave him a ball of thread, which he used to mark his path through the labyrinth, ensuring he could find his way back after confronting the beast. Armed with nothing but his wits and a sword, Theseus ventured into the maze, facing the darkness and uncertainty that lay ahead. The battle between Theseus and the Minotaur is a powerful symbol of humanity's struggle against primal forces. Theseus's victory over the creature represents the triumph of reason and bravery over chaos and savagery, but his success came at a cost. In his haste to return home, Theseus forgot to change the black sails of his ship to white, a signal to his father that he had survived. Seeing the black sails, King Aegeus, overcome with grief, threw himself into the sea which now bears his name, the Aegean. This myth is rich with themes that resonate across cultures and time. It explores the idea of sacrifice, both in the lives of the Athenian youths and in Theseus's willingness to risk everything for his people. It also highlights the importance of ingenuity and perseverance, as seen in Theseus's use of the thread to navigate the labyrinth. The story has inspired countless retellings in art, literature, and film, cementing its place as one of the most enduring myths of Greek mythology. The cultural significance of Theseus and the Minotaur extends beyond its ancient origins. It has been interpreted as a metaphor for the human condition, representing the challenges we face in navigating the complexities of life and overcoming our inner demons. The labyrinth itself has become a universal symbol of confusion and the search for meaning, while Theseus's heroism continues to inspire stories of courage and resilience. As we leave the labyrinth behind, we prepare to explore another tale of ambition and consequence, the myth of Icarus and Daedalus, a story that warns of the dangers of hubris and the limits of human aspiration. As the echoes of Theseus's triumph fade, we now turn to a tale that soars to the heavens but ends in tragedy, the myth of Icarus and Daedalus. This story, set on the island of Crete, begins with Daedalus, a brilliant inventor and craftsman, who found himself imprisoned alongside his son Icarus by King Minos. Desperate to escape, Daedalus devised a daring plan. Using feathers, wax, and his unmatched ingenuity, he crafted 2 pairs of wings, one for himself and one for his son. Before they took flight, Daedalus warned Icarus of the dangers that lay ahead. He instructed him to fly neither too close to the sun, lest the wax melt, nor too close to the sea, where the dampness could weigh down the feathers. The key, he said, was to follow a middle path, but Icarus, young and filled with the thrill of freedom, could not resist the allure of the skies. As they soared above the waves, the warmth of the sun and the exhilaration of flight overwhelmed him. Ignoring his father's warnings, Icarus climbed higher and higher, drawn by the radiant light above. The wax holding his wings together began to soften and drip away, and before long the feathers scattered into the wind. Icarus plummeted into the sea, his dreams of reaching the heavens dashed in an instant. The waters where he fell would later be named the Icarian Sea in his memory. This myth is a timeless exploration of ambition and its consequences. Icarus's fatal flaw was not his desire to fly, but his inability to heed the limits set by his father. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris, the excessive pride or self-confidence that leads to downfall. It reminds us that while ambition can drive us to achieve great things, it must be tempered with wisdom and restraint. Daedalus, on the other hand, represents the balance between innovation and caution. His grief over losing his son underscores the human cost of unchecked ambition. The themes of this myth resonate deeply in our modern world. It speaks to the tension between progress and responsibility, between reaching for the stars and staying grounded in reality. The image of Icarus falling has become a powerful symbol in art, literature, and even psychology, often representing the risks of overreaching or ignoring warnings. Yet the story also carries a glimmer of hope. Daedalus, though heartbroken, continued his journey, landing safely in Sicily. His survival suggests that while ambition can lead to tragedy, it can also pave the way for new beginnings. As we reflect on the fate of Icarus, we are reminded of the delicate balance between aspiration and humility. This myth challenges us to dream boldly, but to also recognize the boundaries that keep us safe. With this lesson in mind, we now prepare to descend into the depths of another legendary tale, the myth of Medusa, a story that explores themes of power, transformation, and the consequences of divine wrath. Now, as we descend into the shadows of Greek mythology, we encounter one of its most haunting figures, Medusa. Once a beautiful maiden, Medusa's story is one of tragedy, transformation, and the consequences of divine wrath. Her tale begins in the temple of Athena, where Medusa served as a priestess. Renowned for her striking beauty, she caught the attention of Poseidon, the god of the sea. What followed was a moment of violation, a transgression that would forever alter her fate. Enraged by the desecration of her sacred space, Athena punished not Poseidon but Medusa, transforming her into a gorgon. Her once lustrous hair became a writhing nest of snakes, and her gaze turned to stone anyone who dared to look upon her. Exiled to a remote island, Medusa became a symbol of terror, a monster to be feared and avoided. But beneath the surface of this myth lies a deeper exploration of power, victimization, and the complexities of beauty. Medusa's transformation was not just a punishment, it was a weaponization of her identity. Stripped of her humanity, she became a tool of divine retribution, her very existence a warning against defying the gods. Yet her story also raises questions about justice and agency. Why was Medusa, the victim, the one to bear the brunt of Athena's anger? This aspect of the myth has resonated deeply in modern interpretations, particularly within feminist discourse. Medusa has been reclaimed as a symbol of female rage and resilience, a figure who embodies the consequences of patriarchal oppression and the power of reclaiming one's narrative. The myth of Medusa has also left an indelible mark on art and culture. From ancient Greek pottery to Renaissance sculptures, her image has been a source of fascination and fear. Artists have depicted her as both a monstrous figure and a tragic heroine, capturing the duality of her story. In contemporary times, Medusa's visage has become a powerful emblem in movements advocating for women's rights, symbolizing the strength to confront and overcome systemic injustice. Her story challenges us to reconsider who we label as monsters and why, urging us to look beyond the surface to understand the deeper truths of power and victimhood. As we reflect on Medusa's tale, we are reminded of the enduring power of myth to shape our understanding of the world. Her story is not just a cautionary tale of divine punishment, but a profound commentary on beauty, power, and the human capacity for both cruelty and empathy. With this in mind, we now prepare to explore another legendary figure from Greek mythology, the Amazons, a tribe of warrior women whose stories challenge traditional notions of gender and strength. Now, as we step into the realm of the underworld, we encounter one of Greek mythology's most poignant tales, the story of Persephone and Hades. This myth, rich with themes of life, death, and rebirth, begins with Persephone, the radiant daughter of Demeter, goddess of the harvest. One day, while gathering flowers in a sunlit meadow, Persephone is suddenly seized by Hades, the god of the underworld, who carries her away to his shadowy kingdom. This act of abduction sets off a chain of events that would forever alter the natural world. Demeter, consumed by grief and rage over her daughter's disappearance, plunges the earth into an eternal winter. Crops wither, the land grows barren, and humanity faces the threat of famine. Zeus, seeing the devastation, intervenes and negotiates a compromise. Persephone will spend part of the year with Hades in the underworld and the rest with her mother on Earth. This cyclical arrangement explains the changing seasons. When Persephone returns to the surface, Demeter's joy brings spring and summer, but her descent back to the underworld each year marks the onset of autumn and winter. At its core, the myth of Persephone and Hades is a profound exploration of life cycles. Persephone's dual role as both the Maiden of Spring and the Queen of the Underworld symbolizes the interconnectedness of life and death, growth and decay. Her story reflects the ancient Greeks' understanding of the natural world, where death is not an end but a necessary part of renewal. This theme resonates deeply in agricultural societies, where the cycle of planting and harvest mirrors the myth's narrative. Beyond its connection to the seasons, the myth also delves into themes of transformation and agency. Persephone's journey from innocence to power is a testament to resilience and adaptation. While her abduction begins as an act of coercion, her eventual acceptance of her role as queen of the underworld suggests a reclaiming of her own narrative. This duality has made Persephone a compelling figure in modern interpretations, often seen as a symbol of empowerment and the complexities of identity. The myth of Persephone and Hades has left an enduring legacy in art, literature, and culture. From ancient Greek pottery to contemporary retellings, her story continues to captivate audiences with its timeless themes. It challenges us to reflect on the cycles of our own lives, the inevitability of change, and the beauty that can emerge from even the darkest of places. As we prepare to explore the next myth, we carry with us the lessons of Persephone's journey, a reminder that life, in all its forms, is a delicate balance of light and shadow. Now, as we shift our gaze to the realm of fierce warriors and untamed strength, we encounter the legendary Amazons, a tribe of warrior women who have captivated imaginations for centuries. In Greek mythology, the Amazons were depicted as a society of women who lived apart from men, excelling in combat, hunting, and governance. They were said to reside in remote regions, often near the Black Sea, and were renowned for their unmatched skill in battle and their independence. The Amazons were more than just warriors. They were symbols of female empowerment and defiance against traditional gender roles. Stories of their exploits often placed them in direct conflict with Greek heroes such as Hercules and Achilles. One of the most famous tales involves Hercules' ninth labor, where he was tasked with retrieving the girdle of Hippolyta, the Amazon queen. Despite initial peace, misunderstandings led to a violent clash, highlighting the tension between the Amazons and the patriarchal world of Greek heroes. Similarly, in the Trojan War, the Amazon queen Penthesilea fought valiantly on the side of the Trojans, only to meet her end at the hands of Achilles, who was said to have been struck by her beauty even in death. These myths reflect the Greeks' fascination with the idea of a society ruled by women, one that challenged their own cultural norms. The Amazons were often portrayed as both admirable and fearsome, embodying qualities that were typically reserved for male heroes. Their stories served as a reminder of the potential for women to wield power and agency, even in a world dominated by men. The legacy of the Amazons extends far beyond ancient mythology. They have become enduring symbols of strength, resilience, and independence, inspiring countless modern depictions of strong female characters. From comic book heroines like Wonder Woman, whose origins are deeply rooted in Amazonian lore, to contemporary literature and film, the Amazons continue to represent the idea of women breaking free from societal constraints and claiming their own narratives. In exploring the myth of the Amazons, we uncover not only a fascinating chapter of Greek mythology, but also a timeless reflection on gender, power, and identity. Their stories challenge us to reconsider traditional roles and celebrate the strength and complexity of women. As we move forward, we carry with us the spirit of the Amazons, a reminder that courage and determination know no gender. Now, as we set sail into the realm of enchantment and peril, we encounter the haunting myth of the sirens. In Greek mythology, the sirens were mysterious creatures, often depicted as part woman and part bird, who lived on a rocky island surrounded by treacherous waters. Their most infamous trait was their irresistible song, a melody so beautiful and hypnotic that it lured sailors to their doom, causing ships to crash against the rocks as the men aboard were drawn helplessly toward the source of the music. The siren's song was more than just a deadly trap. It symbolized the allure of temptation and the dangers of succumbing to one's desires. Sailors who heard their song were said to lose all sense of reason, abandoning their duties and steering their ships toward certain destruction. This myth served as a cautionary tale about the power of seduction and the consequences of giving in to unchecked impulses. It also highlighted the dual nature of beauty and danger, as the sirens' enchanting voices masked their deadly intent. One of the most famous encounters with the sirens comes from Homer's Odyssey. Odysseus, the cunning hero, was warned about the sirens by the sorceress Circe. To protect his crew, he ordered his men to plug their ears with beeswax, rendering them deaf to the siren song. But Odysseus, ever curious, wanted to hear the music for himself. He had his men tie him to the mast of the ship, instructing them not to release him no matter how much he begged. As they sailed past the Sirens' island, Odysseus was tormented by their song, which promised him knowledge of all things past and future. Yet, bound and powerless, he survived the encounter, showcasing his cleverness and self-control. The myth of the Sirens has resonated deeply across cultures and centuries, influencing countless works of literature, art, and music. Their story has been interpreted as a metaphor for the dangers of distraction, the seductive power of art, and the struggle between reason and desire. In medieval literature, the sirens were often associated with the temptations of sin, while in modern times they have become symbols of the allure of the unknown and the perils of obsession. The sirens' enduring legacy can be seen in everything from classical paintings to contemporary films and novels. Their haunting melodies continue to captivate audiences, reminding us of the timeless tension between beauty and danger, freedom and restraint. As we reflect on the myth of the sirens, we are reminded of the power of storytelling to explore the complexities of human nature and the eternal struggle to resist temptation. With this tale echoing in our minds, we prepare to navigate the next chapter of our journey through the myths that shaped history. Now, as we venture deeper into the labyrinth of Greek mythology, we encounter the towering figure of the Cyclops, a creature as fearsome as it is fascinating. Among the most famous of these one-eyed giants is Polyphemus, whose encounter with Odysseus in Homer's Odyssey has become a cornerstone of ancient storytelling. The Cyclops, with their immense size and singular eye, embody the raw, untamed forces of nature, standing in stark contrast to the cunning and resourcefulness of human civilization. Polyphemus, the son of Poseidon, is perhaps the most well-known Cyclops, and his story is a gripping tale of survival, revenge, and the boundaries of hospitality. When Odysseus and his men stumble upon Polyphemus's cave during their long journey home, they find it stocked with food and supplies. At first, the scene seems like a stroke of luck, but it quickly turns into a nightmare. Polyphemus, far from welcoming his unexpected guests, traps them inside the cave and begins devouring them one by one. This brutal act shatters the ancient Greek ideal of xenia, or hospitality, a sacred bond between host and guest that was believed to be protected by the gods themselves. Odysseus, ever the strategist, devises a plan to escape. He offers Polyphemus wine, intoxicating the giant until he falls into a deep sleep. Then, with a sharpened stake, Odysseus blinds Polyphemus's single eye. When the Cyclops cries out in agony, Odysseus and his men escape by clinging to the undersides of Polyphemus's sheep as they are let out to graze. This act of cunning and defiance not only saves their lives but also highlights the clash between the brute strength of the Cyclops and the ingenuity of human civilization. The myth of Polyphemus and the Cyclops explores profound themes of monstrosity and humanity. Polyphemus, though a monster in appearance and action, is not without complexity. His rage and grief after being blinded evoke a sense of sympathy, reminding us that even the most fearsome creatures have emotions and vulnerabilities. At the same time, his disregard for the laws of hospitality underscores the dangers of savagery and the importance of societal norms. This story also serves as a metaphor for the tension between civilization and the untamed wild. The Cyclops, living in isolation and ruled by primal instincts, represent the chaos that lies beyond the boundaries of human order. Odysseus, on the other hand, embodies the virtues of intelligence, resourcefulness, and the will to survive, qualities that define humanity's struggle to overcome the unknown. The legacy of the Cyclops myth extends far beyond ancient Greece. It has inspired countless retellings in literature, art, and film, often serving as a symbol of the monstrous other that challenges the hero's resolve. From classical sculptures to modern fantasy novels, The image of the one-eyed giant continues to captivate audiences, reminding us of the enduring power of these ancient stories to explore the complexities of human nature. As we reflect on the myth of the Cyclops, we are reminded of the delicate balance between strength and wisdom, chaos and order, and the eternal struggle to navigate the unknown. With this tale of monstrous encounters and human ingenuity fresh in our minds, we prepare to uncover the next myth that has left its mark on the tapestry of history. Now, as we step into the next chapter of Greek mythology, we find ourselves facing one of the most formidable creatures ever imagined, the Hydra. This multi-headed serpent, with its venomous breath and regenerative powers, stands as a symbol of chaos and destruction. But it is also a test of courage, ingenuity, and the unyielding spirit of humanity, embodied by none other than Hercules, the greatest of Greek heroes. The Hydra was no ordinary beast. Nestled in the swamps of Lerna, it was said to have multiple heads, some accounts claiming as many as 9, while others suggest even more. What made the Hydra truly terrifying was its ability to grow back 2 heads for every one that was cut off. This made it an almost impossible foe to defeat, a living embodiment of the idea that some challenges only grow more daunting the harder you fight them. Hercules, tasked with slaying the Hydra as part of his famous 12 labors, approached this challenge with both strength and strategy. Armed with his trusty sword and clad in his lion skin armor, he ventured into the creature's lair. At first, it seemed like a straightforward battle. Hercules began cutting off the Hydra's heads one by one, but as he did, he quickly realized the futility of his efforts. For every head he severed, 2 more sprouted in its place, and the Hydra only grew stronger and more menacing. Realizing that brute force alone would not suffice, Hercules called upon his nephew Aeneas for assistance. Together, they devised a clever plan. As Hercules cut off each head, Aeneas used a burning torch to cauterize the stumps, preventing new heads from growing. This act of teamwork and ingenuity turned the tide of the battle. With each head that fell, the Hydra's power waned until finally, Hercules was able to deliver the killing blow to its immortal head, which he buried under a massive rock to ensure it could never return. The myth of the Hydra is rich with symbolism. It represents the idea that some problems cannot be solved through sheer force alone. Instead, they require creativity, collaboration, and perseverance. Hercules' victory over the Hydra is not just a tale of physical strength, but also a testament to the power of the human mind and the importance of working together to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. This story also speaks to the cyclical nature of struggle. Just as the Hydra's heads kept growing back, life often presents us with obstacles that seem to multiply the harder we fight. Yet, like Hercules, we are reminded that with determination and resourcefulness, even the most daunting challenges can be conquered. The Hydra's defeat serves as a powerful metaphor for resilience, showing that no matter how many times we are knocked down, we have the capacity to rise again and emerge victorious. The legacy of the Hydra myth extends far beyond ancient Greece. It has inspired countless retellings in literature, art, and popular culture, often serving as a symbol of the relentless and ever-changing nature of adversity. From medieval bestiaries to modern fantasy epics, the Hydra continues to captivate audiences, reminding us of the timeless struggle between order and chaos, and the enduring power of the human spirit to triumph over the impossible. As we reflect on the myth of the Hydra, we are reminded that the greatest battles are not always fought with swords and shields, but with wit, determination, and the support of those who stand beside us. With this tale of perseverance and teamwork fresh in our minds, we prepare to uncover the next myth that has shaped the course of history. As the story of the Hydra fades into the annals of myth, we now turn our gaze to the skies, where the radiant symbol of rebirth and immortality takes flight, the phoenix. This majestic bird, born from the ashes of its own demise, has captivated imaginations for millennia, and its origins trace back to the sun-drenched lands of ancient Egypt. Here, the phoenix was not just a creature of legend, but a profound symbol intertwined with the divine and the eternal. In Egyptian mythology, the phoenix was closely associated with Ra, the mighty sun god who ruled the heavens. Just as Ra journeyed across the sky each day, bringing light and life to the world, the phoenix embodied the cycle of the sun itself. It was said that the phoenix would rise at dawn, its fiery plumage mirroring the brilliance of the rising sun, and at dusk it would return to its nest, only to be consumed by flames and reborn anew with the first light of morning. This eternal cycle of death and rebirth made the phoenix a powerful emblem of renewal, resilience, and the unending nature of existence. The Egyptians called this sacred bird the Bennu, and it was often depicted as a heron with shimmering golden and red feathers. The Bennu was believed to have emerged from the primordial waters of chaos at the dawn of creation, making it a symbol of the very beginning of life. It was said to perch on the sacred Benben stone, a pyramid-shaped pillar that represented the first land to rise from the waters, further connecting it to themes of creation and renewal. The myth of the phoenix resonated deeply with the Egyptian worldview, which placed great importance on the cycles of nature and the afterlife. Just as the sun rose and set each day, and the Nile flooded and receded each year, the phoenix's rebirth symbolized the eternal return of life and the promise of renewal. This idea was central to Egyptian beliefs about the soul's journey after death, as they believed in the possibility of resurrection and eternal life in the afterlife. The symbolism of the phoenix did not remain confined to Egypt. Over time, this myth spread across cultures, each adapting it to their own beliefs and values. In Greek mythology, the phoenix became a symbol of immortality and the triumph of life over death. In Chinese tradition, the Feng Huang, a similar mythical bird, represented harmony and the union of yin and yang. Even in modern times, the phoenix continues to inspire, appearing in literature, art, and popular culture as a universal symbol of hope, transformation, and the enduring human spirit. The legacy of the phoenix reminds us that even in the face of destruction, there is always the potential for renewal. Its story teaches us that endings are not final, but rather the precursors to new beginnings. As we reflect on the myth of the phoenix, we are invited to embrace the cycles of life, to find strength in the knowledge that after every fall, there is the possibility of rising again, stronger and more radiant than before. With a tale of the phoenix illuminating the power of rebirth, we prepare to delve into the next myth, where the mysteries of the deep sea and the legends of monstrous creatures await. As the fiery tale of the phoenix fades into the horizon, we now set sail into the shadowy depths of the ocean, where the kraken, a colossal sea monster of Norse legend, lies in wait. This fearsome creature, said to dwell off the coasts of Norway, has haunted the imaginations of sailors and storytellers for centuries, becoming one of the most iconic figures in maritime folklore. The kraken was described as a monstrous beast of unimaginable size, with tentacles so vast they could drag entire ships beneath the waves. Sailors whispered tales of its sudden appearances, rising from the depths to crush vessels and devour crews. Some accounts even claimed the kraken was so massive that its body could be mistaken for an island, luring unsuspecting sailors to their doom. These stories were not just tales of terror, but also warnings of the unpredictable dangers of the sea, a force both awe-inspiring and deadly. In Norse mythology, the kraken was often linked to the god of the sea, Aegir, who ruled over the ocean's mysteries. While Aegir himself was not malevolent, the kraken embodied the sea's darker, more destructive side. Its presence served as a reminder of nature's power and the limits of human control, themes that resonated deeply with seafaring cultures who depended on the ocean for survival yet feared its wrath. The legend of the kraken also found its way into the broader tapestry of European folklore, where it became a symbol of the unknown and the monstrous. Over time, its image evolved, blending with other sea monster myths to create a creature that was both uniquely terrifying and universally recognizable. By the 18th century, the kraken had entered the realm of natural history, with scholars like Carl Linnaeus even attempting to classify it as a real animal, reflecting the blurred line between myth and science in the age of exploration. In modern times, the kraken has become a staple of popular culture, appearing in literature, films, and even video games. Its influence can be seen in everything from Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea to the tentacled horrors of H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. The kraken's enduring appeal lies in its ability to embody humanity's primal fear of the unknown, as well as our fascination with the mysteries that lie beneath the waves. The myth of the kraken reminds us of the ocean's dual nature, a source of life and a realm of danger. It challenges us to confront the limits of our understanding and to respect the forces that lie beyond our control. As we leave the kraken's domain, we prepare to explore another legendary figure, one whose story is woven into the very fabric of Norse beliefs about honor, death, and the afterlife. As the kraken's shadow recedes into the depths, we ascend to the skies where the Valkyries, the warrior maidens of Norse mythology, await. These divine figures, often depicted as fierce and beautiful, played a crucial role in the Norse understanding of honor, death, and the afterlife. Their task was both sacred and formidable, to choose the bravest warriors who fell in battle and guide them to Valhalla, the great hall of Odin, where they would prepare for the final battle of Ragnarok. The Valkyries were more than mere messengers of death. They were symbols of fate and divine will. Riding through the skies on their winged horses, they would descend upon battlefields, their presence marked by the shimmering light of their armor and the haunting sound of their spears. To be chosen by a Valkyrie was the highest honor for a warrior, as it meant a place among the Einherjar, Odin's elite army of the dead. This belief reinforced the Norse ideal of dying with courage and glory, for only the valiant could hope to earn a seat in Valhalla. In Norse cosmology, the Valkyries were deeply intertwined with the concept of destiny. They were not only choosers of the slain but also weavers of fate, often depicted as spinning the threads of warriors' lives. This dual role highlighted the Norse belief in a predetermined yet honorable path, where one's actions in life determined their place in the afterlife. The Valkyries, therefore, embodied the tension between free will and destiny, a theme that resonated deeply in Norse culture. The connection between the Valkyries and Odin further emphasized their importance. As Odin's handmaidens, they carried out his will, ensuring that the greatest warriors were gathered for the final battle. This relationship underscored Odin's role as the god of war and wisdom, as well as his desire to prepare for the inevitable chaos of Ragnarok. The Valkyries, in turn, became symbols of loyalty, duty, and the unbreakable bond between the divine and the mortal. Over time, the image of the Valkyries evolved, blending with other mythological traditions and inspiring countless works of art, literature, and music. From Richard Wagner's operas to modern fantasy novels, the Valkyries have remained a powerful symbol of strength, femininity, and the eternal struggle between life and death. Their legacy endures as a testament to the Norse reverence for bravery and the belief that even in death there is honor and purpose. The myth of the Valkyries invites us to reflect on the values of courage and sacrifice, reminding us that the choices we make in life can echo into eternity. As we leave the realm of these warrior maidens, we prepare to delve into another legend, one that speaks to the darker corners of human nature and the primal fears that have shaped our stories for centuries. Now, as we step into the chilling winds of Algonquian folklore, we encounter the Wendigo, a haunting figure that embodies the darkest corners of human nature. This malevolent spirit, often depicted as a gaunt, skeletal creature with glowing eyes and antlers, is deeply rooted in the traditions of the Algonquian peoples of North America. The Wendigo is not just a monster of myth. It is a symbol of greed, hunger, and the primal struggle for survival in the harshest of conditions. The legend of the Wendigo warns of the dangers of excess and the corruption of the soul. According to the myth, the Wendigo is born from acts of cannibalism, particularly during times of famine or extreme hardship. Those who resort to consuming human flesh are said to be transformed into Wendigos, cursed with an insatiable hunger that can never be satisfied. This transformation is both physical and spiritual, as the individual loses their humanity and becomes a creature driven solely by the need to consume. The Wendigo myth served as a powerful cautionary tale for the Algonquian people, emphasizing the importance of community, restraint, and respect for nature. In a world where survival often depended on cooperation and resourcefulness, the Wendigo represented the ultimate betrayal of these values. It was a reminder that greed and selfishness could lead to one's downfall, not just physically but morally as well. Themes of greed and survival are central to the Wendigo legend. The creature's endless hunger mirrors the destructive nature of unchecked desire, while its association with winter highlights the harsh realities of life in the northern wilderness. The Wendigo is a manifestation of the fear of scarcity and the lengths to which people might go to survive. Yet, it also serves as a warning against losing one's humanity in the pursuit of survival, a theme that resonates across cultures and time periods. Over the centuries, the Wendigo has transcended its origins in Algonquian mythology, becoming a symbol of psychological and environmental horror in modern literature and media. From novels to films, the Wendigo has been reinterpreted as a metaphor for addiction, environmental destruction, and the darker aspects of human behavior. Its enduring presence in popular culture speaks to the universal relevance of its themes and the primal fears it evokes. The myth of the Wendigo challenges us to confront the darker aspects of our own nature and the choices we make in the face of adversity. It reminds us that survival is not just about physical endurance, but also about maintaining our humanity and moral compass. As we leave the icy grip of the Wendigo behind, we prepare to explore another legend, one that soars through the skies and roars with the power of thunder. Now, as we shift our gaze to the vast skies of Native American mythology, we encounter the Thunderbird, a majestic and awe-inspiring figure that commands the forces of nature. This powerful spirit, often depicted as a colossal bird with wings that create thunder and eyes that flash with lightning, holds a central place in the cosmology of many Native American tribes. The Thunderbird is not merely a creature of myth, it is a symbol of strength, protection, and the delicate balance between humanity and the natural world. The Thunderbird's role in Native American cosmology is deeply intertwined with the elements. It is said to reside in the mountains or the heavens, from where it controls the weather, bringing life-giving rain to nourish the earth or unleashing storms to cleanse and renew. For many tribes, the Thunderbird is a guardian spirit, a protector of the people and the land. Its presence is both revered and feared, as it embodies the raw power of nature and the mysteries of the skies. Symbolically, the Thunderbird represents the duality of creation and destruction. Its thunderous wings and lightning strikes are reminders of nature's ability to both sustain and devastate. This duality is reflected in the stories told by various tribes, where the Thunderbird is often portrayed as a force of justice, punishing wrongdoing and restoring balance. In some traditions, it is also seen as a mediator between the physical and spiritual realms, bridging the gap between humans and the divine. The Thunderbird's significance extends beyond its role in weather and spirituality. It is also a cultural emblem, appearing in art, totems, and ceremonies. For the Kwakwaka'wakw people of the Pacific Northwest, the Thunderbird is a central figure in their potlatch ceremonies, symbolizing wealth, power, and generosity. Among the Lakota, it is associated with the sacred pipe and the vision quest, representing spiritual insight and transformation. These cultural expressions highlight the Thunderbird's enduring importance as a symbol of unity, resilience, and reverence for the natural world. In modern times, the Thunderbird continues to inspire and captivate. Its image has been adopted in various forms of media, from literature to film, often representing themes of freedom, power, and the untamed forces of nature. Yet, its roots remain firmly planted in the rich soil of Native American tradition, where it serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life and the sacredness of the earth. The myth of the Thunderbird invites us to reflect on our relationship with the natural world and the forces that shape our existence. It challenges us to respect the power of nature and to recognize our place within the larger web of life. As we leave the soaring heights of the Thunderbird behind, we prepare to delve into another legend, one that carries the whispers of prophecy and the promise of renewal. As we step into the sacred traditions of the Lakota people, we encounter the profound and transformative myth of the White Buffalo Woman. This revered figure is not just a character in a story. She is a divine messenger, a bringer of sacred knowledge, and a symbol of hope and renewal for the Lakota nation. Her arrival marks a pivotal moment in Lakota spirituality, one that continues to resonate deeply within their culture and beyond. The story begins with a time of great hardship for the Lakota people. Facing famine and despair, two young warriors set out to hunt for food. As they journeyed across the plains, they encountered a mysterious figure approaching them. She was radiant, cloaked in white, and carried herself with an otherworldly grace. This was the White Buffalo Woman, a being of immense spiritual power. She instructed the warriors to return to their village and prepare for her arrival, as she carried a sacred gift for their people. When the White Buffalo Woman arrived at the village, she brought with her the chanunpa, the sacred pipe, and taught the Lakota people the rituals and prayers associated with it. This pipe, she explained, was a direct connection to the Great Spirit Wakantanka. Through its use, the Lakota could communicate with the divine, seek guidance, and restore harmony within their community. The White Buffalo Woman's teachings emphasized the importance of respect, humility, and unity, values that would sustain the Lakota through generations. Her message was not just about the present, it carried a prophecy for the future. The White Buffalo Woman foretold a time of great change and challenge for the Lakota people. She promised that if they remained true to her teachings, they would endure and find renewal. Her prophecy also spoke of her eventual return, symbolized by the birth of a white buffalo calf, a rare and sacred event that would signal a time of spiritual awakening and healing for all people. The themes of the White Buffalo Woman's story are deeply intertwined with spirituality, prophecy, and cultural renewal. Her arrival brought not only practical rituals but also a profound sense of purpose and connection to the divine. The sacred pipe became a cornerstone of Lakota spirituality, a tool for prayer, ceremony, and community bonding. Her prophecy, meanwhile, serves as a reminder of the cyclical nature of life, where periods of hardship are followed by renewal and hope. In modern times, the myth of the White Buffalo Woman continues to inspire and guide the Lakota people. The birth of white buffalo calves is seen as a powerful sign, reigniting the hope and faith of many. Her story transcends cultural boundaries, offering universal lessons about the importance of spiritual connection, respect for nature, and the resilience of the human spirit. As we reflect on the legacy of the White Buffalo Woman, we are reminded of the enduring power of myth to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. Her story invites us to consider the sacredness of life, the importance of community, and the promise of renewal even in the face of adversity. And now, as we prepare to explore another myth, we carry with us the wisdom of the White Buffalo Woman, a beacon of light and hope in the tapestry of human history. Now, as we shift our gaze to the shadows of Latin American folklore, we encounter a creature that has sparked fear and fascination in equal measure, the chupacabra. This modern legend, whose name translates to goat sucker, is said to prowl the night, preying on livestock and leaving behind a trail of drained animals. Unlike the ancient myths we've explored, the chupacabra is a relatively recent addition to the world of folklore, emerging in the late 20th century, yet its impact has been profound and far-reaching. The story of the chupacabra first gained widespread attention in the mid-1990s when reports began to surface from Puerto Rico of mysterious animal deaths. Farmers claimed their goats, chickens, and other livestock were found dead, their bodies drained of blood with small puncture wounds. Witnesses described a strange, reptilian creature with glowing red eyes, sharp claws, and spines running down its back. Some accounts even suggested it could leap great distances, adding to its terrifying reputation. These sightings quickly spread across Latin America and beyond, capturing the imagination of people worldwide. But where did the chupacabra come from? Some believe it is a product of mass hysteria, a way for communities to explain unexplained livestock deaths. Others suggest it may have roots in older folklore, drawing parallels to mythical creatures like the vampire or the werewolf. Interestingly, some scientists have proposed that the chupacabra could be linked to real animals, such as wild dogs or coyotes suffering from mange, a condition that causes hair loss and gives them a gaunt, otherworldly appearance. Yet, despite these rational explanations, the legend persists, fueled by eyewitness accounts and media sensationalism. The cultural impact of the chupacabra is undeniable. It has become a symbol of fear and mystery, often used in popular culture to represent the unknown. From movies and television shows to books and video games, the chupacabra has cemented its place in contemporary folklore. Its legend has also inspired countless investigations, with cryptozoologists and amateur sleuths alike attempting to uncover the truth behind the sightings. For many, the chupacabra represents more than just a mythical creature. It embodies the tension between the known and the unknown, the rational and the supernatural. In Latin America, the chupacabra holds a unique place in the cultural imagination. It serves as a reminder of the region's rich storytelling traditions, where the line between myth and reality often blurs. For some, the creature is a cautionary tale, a warning against the dangers of the night. For others, it is a source of pride, a homegrown legend that has captured the world's attention. Regardless of its origins, the chupacabra continues to fascinate, its story evolving with each new generation. As we reflect on the myth of the chupacabra, we are reminded of the power of folklore to shape our understanding of the world. Whether real or imagined, the chupacabra challenges us to question what we know and to explore the mysteries that lie just beyond our grasp. And now, as we prepare to delve into another tale, we carry with us the eerie allure of the chupacabra, a creature that reminds us of the enduring power of myth to captivate and terrify. Now, as we ascend into the towering peaks of the Himalayas, we encounter a legend that has captivated adventurers and storytellers for centuries: the Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman. This elusive creature, said to roam the snow-covered mountains, has become a symbol of mystery and wonder, blending ancient folklore with modern fascination. The Yeti is deeply rooted in the traditions of the Himalayan people, particularly in Nepal and Tibet. Local legends describe it as a large, ape-like being, covered in thick white or brown fur, with enormous feet that leave behind massive footprints in the snow. For centuries, the Yeti has been woven into the fabric of Himalayan culture, often depicted as a guardian of the mountains or a spiritual entity. Some stories even suggest that encountering the Yeti brings either great fortune or dire consequences, depending on the circumstances. The modern fascination with the Yeti began in the early 20th century, when Western explorers and mountaineers started venturing into the Himalayas. Reports of strange footprints, sightings of a towering, hairy figure, and tales from local guides fueled the myth. One of the most famous accounts came from British explorer Eric Shipton in 1951, who photographed what appeared to be enormous footprints in the snow. These images sparked global interest, turning the Yeti into a household name and inspiring countless expeditions to uncover the truth. But what lies behind the legend of the Yeti? Some believe it could be a surviving species of ancient hominid, such as Gigantopithecus, a massive ape that once roamed Asia. Others suggest it might be a misidentified bear or other large animal adapted to the harsh mountain environment. Despite numerous searches and investigations, no conclusive evidence has been found, leaving the Yeti firmly in the realm of myth and speculation. The Yeti's influence extends far beyond the Himalayas. It has become a cornerstone of cryptozoology, the study of creatures whose existence is unproven. The abominable snowman has inspired books, documentaries, and even Hollywood films, becoming a cultural icon that represents humanity's enduring curiosity about the unknown. Its legend has also shaped tourism in the region, with trekkers and adventurers drawn to the Himalayas in hopes of catching a glimpse of the elusive creature. For the people of the Himalayas, the Yeti remains a powerful symbol of their connection to the mountains. It embodies the awe and respect they hold for the natural world, as well as the mysteries that lie within it. Whether real or imagined, the Yeti continues to inspire wonder, reminding us of the vastness of our planet and the stories we tell to make sense of it. As we leave the icy heights of the Himalayas, we carry with us the enigmatic allure of the Yeti, a legend that bridges the gap between ancient folklore and modern curiosity. And now, as we prepare to explore another myth, we are reminded of the timeless power of stories to ignite our imagination and connect us to the mysteries of the world. Now, as we journey from the icy peaks of the Himalayas to the misty waters of Scotland, we find ourselves immersed in another legendary tale, the myth of the Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as Nessie. This enigmatic creature, said to inhabit the deep, dark waters of Loch Ness, has captured the imagination of millions, becoming one of the most famous cryptids in the world. The origins of the Loch Ness Monster can be traced back to ancient Scottish folklore. Stories of a mysterious water-dwelling beast have been part of local tradition for centuries, with some accounts dating as far back as the 6th century. One of the earliest written records comes from the life of Saint Columba, an Irish monk who reportedly encountered a water beast in the River Ness. According to the tale, the creature threatened a man swimming in the river, but Columba commanded it to retreat, saving the man's life. This story, though steeped in religious symbolism, laid the groundwork for the legend of Nessie. The modern fascination with the Loch Ness Monster began in the 1930s, when a series of sightings and photographs brought the creature into the global spotlight. The most famous of these was the surgeon's photograph taken in 1934, which appeared to show a long-necked creature emerging from the water. Though later revealed to be a hoax, the image became iconic, cementing Nessie's place in popular culture. Over the decades, countless eyewitness accounts, sonar readings, and even amateur videos have fueled the mystery, though no definitive proof of the creature's existence has ever been found. The Loch Ness Monster has had a profound impact on tourism in Scotland. Loch Ness, once a quiet and remote location, has become a major tourist destination, drawing visitors from around the world who hope to catch a glimpse of the elusive creature. The local economy has thrived on Nessie-themed attractions, from boat tours to museums, and the legend has become a symbol of Scottish identity. The monster's image adorns everything from postcards to whiskey bottles, making it a cultural icon as much as a cryptid. In the realm of media, Nessie has inspired countless books, documentaries, and films. The creature has become a staple of cryptozoology, often featured alongside other legendary beings like Bigfoot and the Yeti. Its story has been explored in scientific investigations, with researchers using advanced technology to scan the depths of Loch Ness in search of evidence. While these efforts have yet to yield conclusive results, they have kept the legend alive, sparking debates about the possibility of undiscovered species lurking in the world's remote corners. The Loch Ness Monster also represents humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown. Like the Yeti, Nessie embodies the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding, inviting us to explore and question the boundaries of what we know. Whether real or imagined, the legend of Nessie continues to captivate, reminding us of the power of stories to inspire curiosity and wonder. As we leave the misty shores of Loch Ness, we carry with us the enduring allure of this legendary creature, a symbol of mystery that bridges the gap between ancient folklore and modern exploration. And now, as we prepare to delve into another myth, we are reminded once again of the timeless appeal of the stories that shape our world. Now, as we dive into the shimmering depths of the ocean, we find ourselves immersed in the enchanting world of mermaids, one of the most enduring and universal myths in global folklore. These half-human, half-fish beings have captured the human imagination for centuries, appearing in tales from ancient Greece to the shores of Ireland and beyond. The mermaid myth is as vast and varied as the oceans themselves, reflecting humanity's deep connection to the sea and its mysteries. The earliest known mermaid-like creatures can be traced back to the sirens of Greek mythology. These alluring beings, often depicted as part bird and part woman, were said to lure sailors to their doom with their mesmerizing songs. Over time, the image of the siren evolved, merging with other aquatic myths to become the mermaids we recognize today. In many cultures, mermaids were seen as both beautiful and dangerous, embodying the dual nature of the sea, its ability to nurture and destroy. In Celtic folklore, the mermaid myth takes on a different form with the Selkies, creatures that could transform from seals into humans by shedding their skins. Selkies were often portrayed as gentle and tragic figures, bound by the sea but longing for human connection. These stories reflect the Celtic reverence for the ocean and its creatures, as well as the tension between the natural and human world. Mermaids also appear in the folklore of Africa, Asia, and the Americas, each culture adding its own unique twist to the myth. In West African traditions, for example, the water spirit Mami Wata is often depicted as a mermaid-like figure, symbolizing wealth, fertility, and the power of the ocean. In Japan, the Ningyo, a fish-like creature with a human face, was believed to grant immortality to those who consumed its flesh, though catching one was said to bring storms and misfortune. The symbolism of mermaids is as rich and varied as their stories. They often represent the unknown, the untamed, and the mysterious depths of the human psyche. Their dual nature, both human and animal, speaks to our own complex relationship with the natural world, as well as our fascination with the boundaries between land and sea, life and death, reality and fantasy. In modern times, mermaids have become a staple of popular culture, appearing in everything from fairy tales and children's books to blockbuster films and television shows. Their enduring appeal lies in their ability to embody both beauty and danger, freedom and captivity, making them a powerful symbol for exploring themes of identity, transformation, and the human condition. As we surface from the depths of mermaid lore, we are reminded of the timeless allure of these mythical beings whose stories continue to inspire and captivate us. And now, as we prepare to explore another myth, we carry with us the magic and mystery of the mermaid, a symbol of the endless possibilities that lie beneath the waves. Now, as the shadows lengthen and the night deepens, we step into the chilling world of vampires, one of the most enduring and haunting myths in global folklore. These creatures of the night, with their thirst for blood and immortality, have fascinated and terrified humanity for centuries, appearing in stories from ancient Mesopotamia to the dark forests of Eastern Europe. The vampire myth is as old as civilization itself, reflecting our deepest fears of death, the unknown, and the supernatural. The earliest traces of vampire-like beings can be found in ancient Mesopotamia, where tales of demons and spirits that fed on the life force of the living were common. These early myths often depicted vampires as malevolent entities, tied to disease and misfortune. In ancient Greece and Rome, stories of the Lamia and the Strigoi introduced the idea of blood-drinking creatures that preyed on the living, blending elements of myth and superstition. However, it was in Eastern Europe, particularly in regions like Romania and Serbia, that the vampire myth truly took shape. Here, the vampire became a central figure in folklore, often associated with the undead corpses that rose from their graves to torment the living. These vampires were not the suave, aristocratic figures of modern fiction, but grotesque, decaying beings that spread fear and death. Rituals to prevent vampirism, such as staking the body or placing garlic in the coffin, became widespread, reflecting the deep-seated belief in these creatures. The transformation of the vampire from a folkloric monster to a cultural icon began in the 19th century with the publication of John Polidori's The Vampire, and most famously Bram Stoker's Dracula. Stoker's novel, inspired by the historical figure Vlad the Impaler, redefined the vampire as a sophisticated, seductive figure of power and danger. Dracula became the archetype of the modern vampire, influencing countless adaptations in literature, film, and television. In the 20th and 21st centuries, vampires have continued to evolve, reflecting changing societal fears and desires. From the brooding romanticism of Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles to the teenage angst of Twilight, vampires have become a versatile symbol, embodying themes of immortality, forbidden love, and the struggle between good and evil. They have also been reimagined in diverse cultural contexts, from the Jiangxi of Chinese folklore to the Aswang of the Philippines, each adding new layers to the myth. The enduring appeal of vampires lies in their ability to embody our deepest anxieties and desires. They are both monsters and mirrors, reflecting our fears of death and decay, as well as our longing for eternal life and forbidden pleasures. As we leave the shadowy realm of vampire lore, we carry with us the chilling reminder of how these myths continue to shape our understanding of the human condition. And now, as we prepare to explore another myth, we step into the light, ready to uncover the next chapter in the tapestry of world history. As the moon rises high in the night sky, we shift our gaze to another creature that has haunted the human imagination for centuries: the werewolf. This myth of the half-man, half-beast has roots that stretch across cultures and time, embodying our deepest fears of transformation, the wild, and the darker side of human nature. From ancient Greek tales to medieval European folklore, the werewolf has been a symbol of the struggle between civilization and savagery, a reminder of the beast that lurks within us all. The earliest traces of werewolf legends can be found in ancient Greece, where stories of men transforming into wolves were tied to the worship of Zeus Lycaeus. One of the most famous tales is that of King Lycaon, who was cursed to become a wolf after offending the gods. This myth reflects the ancient belief in the thin line between humanity and the animal world, as well as the consequences of defying divine will. In Roman mythology, the story of the werewolf was further popularized by authors like Ovid, who wrote about men transforming into wolves as punishment for their crimes. As we move into the Middle Ages, the werewolf myth took on a darker, more sinister tone. In medieval Europe, werewolves became associated with witchcraft, heresy, and the devil. Stories of men transforming into wolves under the light of the full moon were often used to explain mysterious disappearances, violent crimes, and even outbreaks of disease. The fear of werewolves was so widespread that it led to trials and executions, much like the witch hunts of the same era. These tales often served as cautionary stories, warning against the dangers of giving in to one's primal instincts. The duality of human nature is a central theme in werewolf mythology. The werewolf represents the conflict between our civilized selves and our wild, untamed instincts. This theme has been explored in countless works of literature and film, from the Gothic novels of the 19th century to modern horror classics. In many stories, the werewolf is not just a monster but a tragic figure, cursed to transform against their will and forced to confront the beast within. This duality makes the werewolf a deeply relatable and enduring symbol, reflecting our own struggles with identity, morality, and self-control. In more recent times, the werewolf myth has continued to evolve, adapting to reflect contemporary fears and anxieties. From the psychological horror of films like An American Werewolf in London to the romanticized portrayals in series like Teen Wolf, the werewolf remains a versatile and compelling figure. These modern interpretations often explore themes of alienation, belonging, and the search for identity, resonating with audiences in new and profound ways. The myth of the werewolf, like that of the vampire, taps into our deepest fears and desires. It reminds us of the fragility of our humanity and the ever-present threat of losing ourselves to the wild. As we leave the shadowy forests of werewolf lore, we carry with us a deeper understanding of the human condition and the timeless power of these ancient myths. And now, as we prepare to explore the final myth in our journey, we step into the realm of the undead, where the line between life and death blurs in the chilling legend of the zombie. As the shadows of the werewolf fade into the night, we step into the eerie world of the undead, where the chilling myth of the zombie awaits. This final myth in our journey takes us to the heart of Haitian Vodou, where the zombie legend first took root and then traces its transformation into a global pop culture phenomenon that continues to captivate and terrify audiences worldwide. The origins of the zombie myth can be traced back to Haiti, where it emerged as a powerful symbol within the Vodou religion. In Haitian folklore, a zombie is not the flesh-eating monster we often see in movies, but rather a person whose soul has been captured and whose body is reanimated by a sorcerer or baka. These zombies were believed to be under the complete control of their creator, forced to labor endlessly without will or memory. This myth reflects deep-seated fears about loss of autonomy, the power of spiritual forces, and the horrors of slavery which shaped much of Haiti's history. The zombie myth gained international attention in the early 20th century, thanks in part to the writings of American author William Seabrook. His book, The Magic Island, introduced Western audiences to the concept of the Haitian zombie, sparking both fascination and fear. This fascination was further fueled by Hollywood, which transformed the zombie into a cinematic icon. Films like White Zombie in the 1930s and George Romero's Night of the Living Dead in the 1960s redefined the zombie as a mindless, flesh-eating creature, embodying societal anxieties about conformity, consumerism, and the collapse of civilization. Themes of death and control are central to the zombie myth. In its Haitian origins, the zombie represents the ultimate loss of freedom, a person stripped of their soul and reduced to a mere tool. In modern interpretations, zombies often symbolize the fear of losing individuality in a mass society, as well as the dread of pandemics and societal collapse. The zombie apocalypse narrative, popularized in films, TV shows, and video games, taps into our collective fears of chaos, survival, and the fragility of human civilization. The zombie myth also serves as a mirror for societal fears and anxieties. During the Cold War, zombies reflected fears of nuclear annihilation and the dehumanizing effects of technology. In more recent years, they have been used to explore issues like climate change, pandemics, and political unrest. The zombie's relentless, mindless nature makes it a powerful metaphor for the dangers of unchecked consumption, environmental destruction, and the erosion of human connection. As we conclude our exploration of the 50 myths that shaped world history, the zombie stands as a testament to the enduring power of storytelling. From its roots in Haitian Vodou to its evolution into a global pop culture icon, the zombie myth continues to resonate because it speaks to our deepest fears and desires. It reminds us of the fragility of life, the importance of autonomy, and the ever-present threat of losing ourselves to forces beyond our control. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the myths that have shaped our world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating explorations of history, culture, and the stories that define us. Let us know in the comments which myth surprised you the most or which one you'd like to learn more about. Until next time, keep exploring the stories that connect us all. As we bring this journey through 50 myths to a close, it's clear that these stories are far more than mere tales from the past. They are the threads that weave together the fabric of human history, culture, and imagination. From the creation myths that shaped our earliest understanding of the universe to the modern legends that reflect our deepest fears and aspirations, these myths have left an indelible mark on who we are and how we see the world. Each myth, whether it's the heroic labors of Hercules, the tragic love of Orpheus and Eurydice, or the apocalyptic visions of Ragnarok, carries timeless themes that resonate across generations. They explore the human condition, our struggles, our triumphs, our fears, and our hopes. These stories have not only shaped the beliefs and values of ancient civilizations, but continue to influence art, literature, and even our modern-day entertainment. What makes these myths so enduring is their ability to adapt and evolve. They are not static, they grow and change with us, reflecting the anxieties and dreams of each new era. The zombie, for example, began as a symbol of spiritual control in Haitian Vodou and transformed into a metaphor for societal collapse in modern cinema. Similarly, the myth of Atlantis has inspired countless theories and explorations, capturing our fascination with lost worlds and hidden truths. These stories remind us of our shared humanity. They connect us across time and space, offering insights into the cultures that created them and the universal truths they reveal. Whether it's the courage of King Arthur, the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita, or the resilience of the hero twins in the Popol Vuh, these myths teach us about ourselves and the world we inhabit. As we reflect on these 50 myths, it's worth asking, why do they still matter? Perhaps it's because they speak to something fundamental within us, a need to make sense of the world, to find meaning in the chaos, and to pass on the lessons of the past to future generations. They remind us that despite our differences, we are all part of a larger story, one that continues to unfold with each passing day. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the myths that shaped world history. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating content. Let us know in the comments which myth resonated with you the most or which one you'd like to dive deeper into. Until next time, keep exploring the stories that connect us all and remind us of the power of imagination.